from the beach. What need an Uber? Just need to go across the highway.
So why does he need to drive though? But you don't turn the engine on.
I didn't say anything about him driving. I just said he just needs to walk.
You think I'm in California and I know how to say parking on the lights on this water? You be taking chances. I know this is not the first time you do this shit, but you be taking chances.
Oh, hell no. I just had a nice first date with the
Get contracted in.
Now you gotta be high to have a date. What? What the hell?
She got to worship 3 hooves that are working right now, so I got to chat GPT that. Man,
What's that really on? What?
no one. You're strong. I did do little stuff.
What the hell is everybody? 105.
Oh my God. This is not gonna be worse.
If you really fucking drive and you need a job, that shit, bro. The motherfucking innocent people get killed by assholes like you. And I experienced that. A friend of mine getting killed by a drunk fucking driver who's a
Trying to kill my eye.
I feel you. Kill yourself if you want to kill somebody.
Why?
If you in the car, show right now would be the goal. So yeah, let's kill your high.
You still get a fucking DUI. You fall when you fucking high.
Water is... Okay, so am I the only one who has observed that water is high all the time? Like, when is he not? When is he not inebriated?
That's why I said it. You be taking
I know
chances.
he's out of time out there, but I thought he was in his mom.
Yes! No, there's two kinds of water. There's one water that's high, and then there's one that's sober. I can't determine which one is more annoying, but there's two kinds of I've noticed. Do you have a replay? Can you get us a replay for the sober?
Y'all keep saying water, so I play the song. Oh man, that's too much.
But seriously, water. If you're in the car and you're talking about how hot it is outside, you're on all of these different types of I'm gonna call them medications to be nice. Aren't you worried about dehydration?
No, I'm drinking. No, hell no.
Oh Lord, drinking water.
Yeah, I gotta stay hydrated.
Okay.
NPH, all that. Yeah, thank you though.
Okay. What city are you in? It's not hot out here.
I am in Central California.
Oh,
Monterey.
I know they're up there. Yeah, I know they got a heater bars because they got a heater bar. No, I thought you were out here by the bay. You're in. Yeah, it's not out there. Yeah, it's not hot in Central California.
It's warming up. Yep, it's summertime.
Not warming up. They have heat advisories even here at the beach.
Goddamn.
Y'all better let her live. Y'all better let him live. Okay. Then what?
You're trying to keep them alive.
How can you regulate somebody on the internet?
Yeah, it's feeling like Texas. I feel like it's Texas on Clubhouse.
Listen. You don't try and regulate him. Listen, I'm giving advisory just like the city gives heat advisories. I'm giving my advice. Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead, Johnny.
We can't regulate nothing from the internet, but we call people out for that bullshit. And all the fucking that thing that's cool to drive fucking high is a big shit.
Okay.
Sorry if I take it personally.
No. I think that's perfectly okay. I mean, as long as we, I don't know, for me, it's just accepting that it may have no effect. That's all.
I just don't want tomorrow's room to be like I was just put him yesterday.
Everybody's tolerance is different. It ain't that serious.
Well, not even my tolerance, but not even that. Hearing live your life. Not even that. Hearing a news story of somebody else being unalive because of his actions. That's it.
I think I'll say
Yeah,
water.
ask me how many actions
to someone?
All my life. Yeah.
It only takes one water.
But look, I'm just saying, you see how slow he's talking? Or if you're reacting time for seconds,
sounds like that every day, Johnny's.
but I'm saying the reaction time behind the wheel.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, like, that's just like, I don't know. Maybe I hear in slow motion. Yes.
That's how people talk in California.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
They just used to be talking faster when I'm sober, and then they get upset.
Yeah, like I've heard it.
Johnny, direct me to those days so that I can hear that.
I'll call it out next time.
Alright, please do.
I think it's a temperature.
Put my flag on my line, y'all.
Oh my goodness. What flag? The Juneteenth flag?
I'm not shooting it there, actually. I'm seeing California beer flag.
That's a
Beer flag, to each flag.
we need a Juneteenth celebration on here. That's what we're gonna
It is cool up here in Illinois for Juneteenth, but I don't know if it's worth coming up here.
Well, the one up here is going to be at the Oakland Museum. Tomorrow is going to be a huge one.
That's not
There's
real.
going to be a lot of people.
It's huge.
Who's playing? Somebody headline?
Yeah.
They probably got some of the chocolate there too.
Secret special guest? That's cool.
So I would be looking at the thing that's happening at the top of the lake. And also every Friday night, there's a house party up there too. Real we did this for
It's a lot of fun. I haven't been way too long.
Oh, you be over there, Brown?
Sometimes, you know,
Sometimes,
you gotta just keep it short.
You got snaps?
That's just gonna happen.
You're honest, if I step out there.
Yeah, I don't mind you know.
What Oakland Museum?
Oh, come on, you know,
Are you still out here, Lisa?
I'm still here.
Oh, yeah.
they should be up there and those heroes.
It's funny because I just passed San Quentin, and guess what?
Oh!
Is it
Okay, this is what's going on. Okay, go ahead. Pretend like I'm not here to talk about me.
Oh, is it that? Oh, come on, Lisa, don't do it like that.
I can see you there.
I won't see you laugh. I don't know you're laughing. I'm not here to talk about it.
I thought y'all were over that.
And little bit of I'm not over there.
It ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, this and San Quentin is actually a
Unless I drive by that every day.
That's right. Come on, Lisa. You gotta speak to her like that. Come on, Lisa.
The training day.
Hey, let's meet at the dispensary.
Which one? There's thousands out here. It's like a million. Do you know what the meat is?
You're Dizzy Queen. Which one? No, Ohio. Dizzy Queen. Caribbean Queen.
What is going on here? He called me Dizzy Queen. It was like, what?
Did he?
Okay, y'all can
That's a Caribbean.
Lisa, you know they got those, I don't know what the hell they're called. Like, they look like scaffolding things. But George Lucas was inspired to make his robots after those things.
The cranes before.
You know what I'm talking about? The cranes at the fort.
at the port. No, so where is the Oakland Museum? Is it downtown?
Yeah, it's just a little bit south of Broadway. It's at like Oak, I think. It's Oak.
Oh, is that the one that's across the houses that they moved over there? The old
It's really close to the Lake Merritt BART station. It's right by the Lake Merritt BART station.
Why say?
It's right across the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so, but is it the one that has the gate around it?
You can't. It
I mean, it has a gate around it.
It's kind of like a little wall
to the one where they moved all of those, the first homes over there in this area? It's like all the first like colonial homes were moved, and there's also a museum there. I can't remember where it was.
Well, there's where the Black Panther Party.
Yeah, not too far from there. It's not really bad.
That's why people over by 8th Street. Yeah, that's great. Great place.
Are you from Muskoka?
Yeah.
No, I'm from the east side. I'm from the east side. I worked over there, and I know people over there. There's a great church over there.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I don't know. Maybe it's just go to Lake Barrett or something.
You say you got moved to Lake Barrett?
What you say?
Oh, I thought you said you was gonna move to Lake Mary.
Oh, not move. No, I said maybe for Juneteenth, I'm going to Lake Barrett. They should have something going on over there, right?
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
gonna be wild with the lakes. It's gonna be crazy, but
Yeah, there's some other parties too happening. It's great.
there's something down at Jack London as well.
Jack London. Oh, okay. At the end of Broadway.
Yeah, all the way out there.
Okay, yeah. And they have some cute little restaurants up in there. I went to a place called Chops.
That place, John Park's gone.
Is that bar? John Bar? Whoa!
They had some cute food. Well, we went one day.
So
There was a lot of robberies of businesses. You're going to go ahead because you might start listening to that. So a lot of, unfortunately, black businesses as well, Jack London, were getting broken into, are, just the windows being broken. So the cars were getting broken into, so the businesses were forced to close down. They just couldn't sustain it. Sad. Because there really was a great movement happening here.
Okay, well, we'll see. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, so I hope you guys go outside.
must be raining
I heard there was going to be a 420 party tomorrow for Juneteenth.
Every day.
That's pretty much what it is. How do rivers get started?
Started by the child, let's go back.
Who is that, Deb?
Easy.
Hi, Deb.
I heard it's politically correct, where you're officially sponsored by the Democratic Party.
So are you saying that this is a rumor? Not to believe it?
I'm saying this is the future.
I'm not talking to you.
I don't know what,
How to give you the address? How to give you the address? I mean, first it needs to know where to send the check and the check. What do you mean to what? It's a check. It's got money. You're not getting storage checks?
Wait,
This is awkward. This is so awkward.
I did not. Oh, Soros. Oh, okay. I get it now.
George.
I get it now. You don't never get a left jokes. That's why.
I got it. I get it. We all don't get it. But anyway,
Did you see that? You don't remember that one? Aberdeen.
excuse me, sir. I'm trying to get something planned for tomorrow. Yeah, no worries. I saw it, Your Honor. But, Lisa, so are we having a party or no? We will have a party tonight? The Juneteenth 3 party? Yeah.
Oh, you're trying to ask me
say about open up my real. I have no idea. I have to talk to some conferences I have to have with DAP and Asian. This is important business. A Black Man Summit.
Make sure you call me, Lisa. We want us to give you a rundown on Sunday.
I don't even know what, is Black in the room?
Work. So he's right here. I work, but this Sunday, I'm off. So I'm not gonna work the weekend, so I can sit down and give a list of what I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna try to cover diabetes, colonoscopy, and black
Good for you! Black man with diabetes, yes. And what you said diabetes and
colonoscopy and prostate.
they ain't gonna never get no colonoscopy now, but go ahead.
That's part of the conversation, so we can break that stigma.
Yeah, we do. We do need to break that stigma because everything that goes in your butt is not bad for you.
Now, Waters, what is going on? You're gonna send this woman to the birthplace of the burrito to go buy a sausage? What is going on? Birthplace of the burrito. Yeah, the birthplace of the burrito, the Mission District of San Francisco.
That's interesting. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he sent you a link to a sausage place, which is a perfect. I mean, it's a good sausage place.
It's the best. Don't undersell it. It's the best. It's fucking incredible. Vibes intact. It's a whole California thing.
Don't go, Lisa.
Definitely go.
Mr. District, I got to go with somebody.
Go with somebody. Go on trivia night on Tuesdays. Have fun pictures. Yeah. God. I think it's a good vibe. It's sad. I want to cry because they closed the one in Oakland. That one was way better. But the one in San Francisco is still open, so I hope, they got picnic style, German style seating, I think, and they got lamb sausages. They do like a truffle and truffle and Lisa. I'm telling you, that's one of the best kept secrets. It's really affordable. A nice like date night or thing in the day.
Like truffle mixed with a duck. Anybody like that? Anybody think that's delicious?
Yeah, you guys like Indian food?
I love it.
I'm just leaving an Indian restaurant right now.
Oh really? Oh
Right. Yeah.
They got this one spot. Tell me if y'all have heard of it in San Francisco. Off I can't remember if it's Taylor, but it's called Kennedy's, and it's a Indian cuisine, but like an Irish pub. Like it's the weirdest combination, but it's like historic. And in that place, they got the best garlic naan and like lamb curry and stuff. And you get like a pint of Guinness with it. That shit, yo, oh my god. Yeah, it's perfect.
You went too far.
In Philly, they got an Indian Korean fusion restaurant.
Oh, that's crazy.
What does it have to do with Guinness, though?
He said Indian
Irish.
Yeah, he said, and you get a pint of Guinness with it. And I'm like, where did that come from? Pint of Guinness.
Because it's an Irish pub called Kennedy's, but they serve Indian food. So I forget how
That's
it went.
crazy. That's crazy.
How the ownership went, but they didn't change shit. It's like very common for them to not to do that type of shit. They got Italian places, old Italian places I haven't tried, but yeah, there's a lot of cool places to eat over there. I had some good poutine, and
He has some good poutine.
Poutine.
Okay.
It's
So Lisa Black is here. He's unmiked. Hey, Black. How'd you be?
Good morning, Miss Lisa.
Morning. Is Black okay? new day. Go ahead, y'all keep on talking.
Don't lay.
I was just wondering if he was in the Middle East to say good morning.
Maybe I said don't lay down in the bed. Don't lay down like that. We gotta go.
Oh, don't lay down.
Can't stay over. You can't spend the night. You gotta hit and run. Come on.
Don't lay down, girl.
Well, you know my shirt is
So we definitely gotta do men's health, y'all, so I can get my stuff ready.
Absolutely.
When?
Yeah, so we're doing that. How we
Can I talk?
When is
I have
this?
to be quiet.
Let her talk, please, so she.
She means talking in the mental health room.
Oh shit.
No, it's supposed to be just not the mental health, though. It's supposed to just be men's health, not mental health. That's it.
Oh my God.
First ladies.
Damn. Well, you know what, Lisa? Because you're a professional, right? You be our guest speaker, but it's.
When is this supposed to take place? You talking about this week?
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute, Mel. Go ahead, Blackie. Go ahead, Black.
No, so you could be our guest speaker for the week. That way you can do the workaround. So.
You said no workaround. That's so funny. You guys, I love the way y'all be talking about me to my face, in my face. I was just gonna help. If you guys don't want me to, I was gonna do a little. Since Doc is doing diabetes and colon, what else you say, Debbie?
You said prostate.
Oh yeah, it's better than a man talk about prostate. You're right.
I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe they might be able to picture the woman providing the services more than. But anyway, go ahead.
That's interesting, though. Okay.
What we gotta do is, Lisa, we probably should do like Brian did this minutes earlier too, and I agree. Just do like a preview room, like a private, and then get everybody together so we can get all on one accord and just figure like brainstorm it out. I think that'd be
Sure. Absolutely. Let ping me when you're doing your private. I'll jump in there for a minute.
Okay, well, let me get in this private right here. Since y'all gonna schedule a private. Are you having a 420 pre-Juneteenth party?
You guys left me hanging high and dry last night. I ended up, who closed the room?
I don't know who closed it.
Just slammed the fucking door. I can't make it up.
Look, it was left to me.
I'll never tell.
I went to take a shower,
I'll tell.
and then
No, just like him.
No, hold on, let me answer my own mistake.
where'd you go?
So I was at work and I said I came off mute and I said I'm at work, so somebody's gonna have to I'll put it in the chat as well. The telegram. So
He was taking a shower the night before.
the Dr. AJ said she don't have the strength of some of these people to be like the main mod. So she said you do it. And
I popped in, and I said, if it's left to me, y'all know what's fixing to happen if it's left to me. If everybody's gone, that's
No, we weren't good. I was having a.
I had no way of knowing. I had no way of knowing this. I had no way of knowing. Child,
Communication. We gotta communicate.
you need to be asleep last night anyway, Sister Love.
You're so funny. I need to be asleep.
You did. You need some rest.
No, but it was the reason that I thought it was safe is because we had these East experts in there talking. So I'm saying between Trent and whatever that guy's name was, and Sweet, what could go wrong?
Wasn't nothing gonna go wrong for me. Wasn't a damn thing fixing to go wrong.
Look what has Gray put in the chat.
We wouldn't be the 420 without you. Thank you very much. Apparently did not buy. Thank you.
Look what F. Gray put in the chat.
I did have a great put in the chat.
He talking to you.
Oh, I'm trying. What's he talking about?
April, read it up.
I'm not reading it. Okay.
But that wasn't last
Jonathan.
Yeah, that was last night, you guys didn't realize it was last night.
Between
It
Bengals,
was open, and then I came back and it wasn't, so I said,
Well, at least I'm up tonight. Because I'm at the so. Me, first I was gone. This is about like 7:30, 8:20. So I can't get out. I left her.
nobody's in here.
Listen, forget the Israelis. Listen, Christy Nome had
looking for each other.
the puppy
A
killer.
nervous breakdown.
She had an allergic reaction after visiting the battle lab at Fort Detrick with wormbrain. Puppy killer wormbrain. It got all fucked up.
Wormbrain was fine though.
She was probably sniffing his underarms, and that's what happened. I don't know.
Oh my
Where you coming from? Where you been? Rashad. Oh, your mic is broke.
Was that guy black you guys was talking to earlier? The one who said I live in Jerusalem and the kids are eating it. Well, hold up. The one who said I live in Jerusalem and the kid, can you stop? And the kids are eat just fine.
His name was Ariel.
Yeah, his name was Ariel.
Was he black?
No, he lived in Israel.
He is black.
Oh, my bad.
I'm asking, is he black? He is black. Because he was weird to the mall. I mean, do you get indoctrinated and shit when you go there?
Hell yeah.
They eat just fine. I was like, have you ever seen somebody's stomach touch their back? I mean, that was weird. I was like,
In his submission, and later on in his submission, he also said that why should they feed them when they're the people that's trying to oppress them?
It's crazy how the nicest things you hear on this app bring back in your head and the meanest shit. The most hateful shit. It's fucked up.
I'll be back.
yeah.
Where you going? Come back here, girl.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
A lot of black.
This
There's a lot of people that moved over to during the civil rights era in the 90s. A lot of black people moved over to Israel, especially the black Jews. You got a really interesting community over there. So I know a lot of people.
There's a black population in Israel. I didn't know that. Honestly, I did not.
Yeah. There's a black population in Israel. A lot of people in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Especially when the black Jew movement happened a lot. A lot of them were like settled over in town.
I'm sure they treat like shit too.
Hey, see, I've been in Europe this whole time. That's why,
Oh, okay.
I haven't been in areas where I could really hop on like Clubhouse and stuff like that.
No worries. Did you just call me Yoda?
No. I was saying like I was checking to make sure my mic was working. So I was like, yo, because I was trying to make sure my mic was. No, I wouldn't do that. But it's been quite a over here. It's been quite the experience. That's all I'll say.
So, you still pleased with your vote?
Where are you?
So I'm in Poland.
Oh my gosh, where?
I'm like 20 miles from Russia. That's what I was. But I would say like I am, to be honest with you. Do I agree with? But I mean, but when I voted for Biden, I didn't agree with everything he did either. I thought that so I would say like this. I'm gonna go really fast. So the border always
Take your time, man. Take your time. Slow down.
Yeah, the border thing always mattered to me, but I thought there were other things that Biden said he would address that I was like, you know what, these these matter more to me than the border thing. I think this time I thought the border thing I did like that it seemed like the forefront of Trump's campaign. Did I agree with every policy that he said he would implement? No. But am I pleased with how he's handling immigration? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Do I think it's a hard right? Like, do I think it is a very extreme version of how he's tackling it? Yes. But I like that. You know, I feel like from the Democrat side, I thought they tiptoed. I thought Biden, he made a lot of promises, and then he seemed like I just like how Trump seems very aggressive with attacking his policies and getting things done. And I wish that Democrats did that more. I wish Biden did that more. I wish Obama did that more. You know, it seems like they kind of try to tiptoe around. So I hope that I think what he's doing so far is so radically right that I think our next president will probably be a Democrat. And I hope they take a playbook from Trump.
That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to take anything from his playbook because both Obama and Biden deported more illegal migrants than Trump ever has or ever will. So there's that fact that you.
Well, I'm not talking about.
Say that. I looked into it myself. It seems like Barack Obama, for instance, did deport lots of people, but all of those deportees were facing, were accused of major crimes. He looked into family issues to see what these people's lives were like. It was well thought out. You know, it's not just like just send them over, just get them out of here. While the Donald basically doesn't care, he's like literally trying to deport American citizens, as well as people who didn't commit any crime or who is seeking the process of becoming citizens, meaning green card holders even, or people who are lawfully here through court orders and things of that nature. So if you got to go to a court, to a person who's doing the process, and still grab them up and ship them out, that he's breaking the law. This is not good precedent at all. Like, why would you like that?
So I wasn't just talking about the immigration thing. I was talking about all the policies. What I like about Trump, right, and this is what I'll say, is that he's making decisions. I think the whole tenure of Biden's his tenure as president, when it came to the Ukraine conflict, when it came to just international issues, it felt like he was just trying to keep everything as it was. So we're not making a definitive decision. We don't know what we want to do. We'll figure it out. Well, I think how he handled the Ukraine.
Has Trump made about Ukraine? What is he done? Because it's still going on as you.
Yeah, but I think he's taking
I'd be interested in knowing exactly what policies it is that you appreciate, because you're not naming any other than immigration.
So from an international perspective, I would say the whole thing with NATO does not. The other NATO countries do not play their part. I think Trump's saying, hey, you need to do this. You need to donate your 10% of troops as promised, or we will leave. He's giving them a firm stance. He's not playing the field. A lot of times on the Democrats, it's the idea that we need to keep NATO together, which is very true. No one's saying we don't. But the idea that we can pressure other nations to make definitive and actually do and basically do what they're supposed to do, I think it needs to be.
They want to do?
Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
So the thing is, what we see now is that when you're a world superpower, you need to move like a world superpower. You cannot pretend like you're just like everyone else. So I think he got a new plan with China. You know, I think that the way that he's moved in terms of making very stern stances. Now, have some things he decided, okay, we're going to do this and we're not going to do that. I agree, because as the table changes, as the war table changes, your plan needs to change. You can't just set a certain stance and just crash out on it. And I just like that.
Because you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot of just
I'm done.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Well, I understood what you're saying, but I do mind if you go. 1 second. Sometimes I'm done. The even face. What's the words, Lisa? Oh, why you start saying okay? I thought we was gonna go do it. Rashad, so my question to you was simple, right?
Oh, first,
I asked you if you still. Excuse me, it was my motherfucking question in the first place. I don't know why the fuck y'all keep trying to talk about it.
Golly, the level of rudeness. Oh my God.
You wanna describe who he's calling rude?
You literally lazy. You.
Okay. You can go down to the audience and read that. Let me show you rude. I'm tired of y'all. I was the person that asked the question, and everybody gonna come off and start talking to him. I let y'all just try to get in there for a minute. Now I'm taking back the fuck over. If you got a problem with it, then oh well. So, Rashad, I was the person that asked you the question in regards to Trump, and if you still supported your vote. You said, well, no. Before you said yes, you took a minute and struggled, and then you said yes. And then you're saying that you support it, but as April pointed out, none of these things are answering the question because Ukraine is still where it is. Nothing has changed. We still have that situation going on. Everything has actually escalated. So it's kind of hard for people to sit and listen to you say this when there's nothing proven there but a bunch of talk. And just like how you just sat here and did a whole bunch of gish galloping is the same thing that's happening in the world today. To the point now we got like 6 wars on the front right now. In the midst of a bunch of bullcrap and the stuff that's going on here.
Well, I would say that I think the war table was always going to change. I don't think things would have ever stayed the same. So the reason I hesitated to answer the question because I had to think about what Trump has done.
So wait a minute, you're saying that the things would never have changed?
No, I said things would have changed. They would have changed. It would have never stayed the same. Is what I'm saying.
It would never stay the same. Okay, I don't understand.
When it comes to the Ukraine-Russian conflict,
He just now said that things were status quo with Biden and they would stay that way, but now it's that they would never change. First Lady, I had some strength to address this a little while ago when I interrupted him wrongly. Now I don't have the strength left. I can't. I can only do so much a day with the Trumpers, and I don't have it today.
First Lady, could I take a stab at this?
Sure, go ahead, Elijah.
All right, Rashad, where are you in Poland?
so I can't say that. Just like 20 miles from Russia.
Are you there as a student?
No.
You're traveling.
Yes.
Okay. So imagine if Poland were to tell you to leave the country and you left based on your skin color, right? So that's one. And then, you have to look at this as well, right? So we're talking about wars, and we're talking about kind of how Trump been doing things. He said that he's, kind of like a mover and a shaker, kind of making things happen. What things, foreign or domestic, do you believe that he has done that puts us in a net positive, or even just something that's a change that you like? Well, let's just start there.
I do think that he challenged NATO to self-sustain.
I heard that one. I didn't trust that one. But anything else?
I do think that he is very aggressive with tackling the immigration issue that we have in the States.
Okay, so your two things are immigration and NATO?
Wait, let me finish. I think that he was also very aggressive with trying to get a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, and that he was very quick with calling out the bullshit when he realized that Russia really wasn't trying to get a deal, and that they're basically trying to see this occupation through. And I think that he is also very aggressive with trying to separate the U.S. from the Russian-Ukraine conflict.
Okay, all right. So now we got some meat. So here's what I can tell you about Russia and America, right? Right now, and just geopolitics in general. How
let me just actually pose the question first, so I don't make myself look stupid. Would you consider Trump leaving the G7 as something that looks as though we are, powerful in the world?
No.
Okay. And then would you think that, flip-flopping on different things, let's just say, Kyiv was bombed 2 days ago. Trump hasn't even said a word to Putin about that. Do you think that maybe Trump should try to talk about how, there hasn't really been anything talked about directly. He says he speaks with Putin, but we don't see any results. So is there anything that you would want to see come to fruition with Russia? Do you think that we should stay out of it, or do you think that?
I think we should continue supporting Ukraine, but I don't think that. So the thing is that he's aggressively. He's at least having conversations with Putin. So we all can agree on that, and we can see that he also has tried to get a deal done. But the thing is, I think Russia is not going to capitulate because they have a certain large portion of Ukraine right now. They're not just going to give that up. And I said this before we even got to this point. I believe that if any peace deal happens, it would be Russia would keep what they have in Ukraine. That would become like a demilitarized zone, and then that would be it. And then maybe years from now, they would invade and try to take the rest. But the idea that Russia is just going to leave Ukraine is not going to happen. So we will have to just...
You're right.
Yeah, so we would. So
hold on. Go on.
Yeah, so they're just gonna have to see it through. I do think that his ability to get Putin on the phone and have a conversation with him is something that it should matter. Because from years it's always been Russia's evil. We don't fuck with them. We're not gonna have a conversation. And it's not really turned out much.
We've ever had.
That's right. But
it's not really turned out to. It's not really turned out to much of anything. I do like that he is basically trying to throw a different perspective. Like, okay, so is he a little bit cool with Putin than I would like? Yes. Okay. But I also think his ability to have Putin look over it and say, yo, what you got to fucking say? I do think that matters.
So that's the key thing, right? Like, I think most Americans are looking at this going, because you're talking about how Russia, how he's doing things, and he's trying to negotiate and all of this stuff with Russia. Where are you seeing, like, if you actually can notice the fact that Trump is cozying up to Putin, but doesn't want to explicitly
That's your last question. Lisa, you wanted to jump in after that?
Elijah is like, it's cool that we got a direct line to Putin, call him up and say, hey, what's up? Yeah, nothing's up, bro. Okay, so that's all I called for. Thank you. Hey, Putin, what's up with them? I forgot what I was gonna ask you anyway. It's cool. Take it in with you. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, like it doesn't. People are still dying.
You know who got played? The one who gave up his minerals for nothing. That's who got played.
Absolutely.
I think we should understand that the alternative to what's happening right now, we already tried that, and much didn't happen.
What we tried?
Well, Biden was in office, right? And he definitely.
What did we try? He said we tried.
The idea that we weren't ever going to have a conversation with Putin, we were just going to keep supplying Ukraine, and we're just going to keep cutting them a check. We tried that.
Keep supplying Israel, so what's
So what I'm saying, like, about honor and code, right? I mean, right. So allies, we train them in the United States. There's no code in honor and leaving your ally on the battlefield.
Right, but I know. So what I'm saying though is that
it's like, where's the honor? We try about just not leaving our ally that we trained since '98 on the.
I never said that. Wait. When did I say that?
You said we tried with Biden then. Here's the thing: in war, there is no other alternative. You don't walk away from your friend and ally on the battlefield. You never.
We're still supplying you with. Hold on. Wait, Ukraine's not a part.
You said Trump got Putin on.
Ukraine's not a part of NATO.
It's not because he's Trump. It's because he's president of the United States. Right?
Wait, you're missing a
The
point.
Cold War, there's always been this thing called the Red Hotline, right, in the DOD between the United States and Russia, right? Not because it's Trump and he's cool, but because we are the two greatest superpowers with the most nuclear bombs.
Two greatest superpowers is crazy.
Like Kennedy didn't talk to Khrushchev on the phone, right?
I never said that didn't happen. Why you putting stuff in my? I never said that.
That's what you implied. You said
No, I did not imply that. I did not imply that.
That's what you said. But this is not the first time that we've been talking to Putin on the phone
So
and back-channel communication. This is not the first time.
I never said this was the first time. I never said this was the first
That's
time.
what you implied. That's why
I never implied that.
because you're being
I never implied that.
it can mean anything. But let me ask you this: since you said you're active duty, how do you feel about the Marines?
I never said I was angry.
In LA being active duty. How do you feel about that?
They got a job. They got to go do it.
No, don't babble, bro. Like, have honor.
I'm not mad. I just answered you directly.
Feel as an
Wait, time out. Wait, look.
Currently deployed.
Hey, we want to be belligerent. I know. Hey, look, sis, I have honor. I just answered your question directly. I just answered your question directly. Look, just because you don't like my answer doesn't mean you ask the question again. I just gave you a direct answer. I just gave you a direct answer. Just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean you can ask the question again. I said they got a job, they gotta go do it. What else you want to hear, bro? I said they got a job, they go do it. And I said they have a job, they have to go do it, bro. How many times you want me to say it? I said they have a job, they have to go do it. Are you fighting?
Orders, but how do you personally feel about it? You're deflecting responsibility.
I said, it is what it is. I'm not deflecting responsibility. I said it is what it is.
I think he's asking for your personal opinion. Like, we know they have a job they got to do, but what is your personal opinion on the matter?
If you come in the country illegally, you illegal. I don't know another way to flip it. They got a job, they got to go do it.
Why are you guys so much at the same time, though?
Don't add anything. Let's hold it down to the question. The question is the fact that the Marines have been sent into the areas, or he attempted to send the Marines in. What is your personal opinions?
As Marines and the National.
Yes, right. What is your personal opinions about him sending the Marines there? That's it. Not anything about the illegal and all that stuff. What is your personal opinion on sending them?
If ISIS don't, okay, listen, I just answered this question. Look, okay, this is what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna answer your question, right? Just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean you can pretend like I didn't answer the question. Answer the question, okay? I'm gonna say this one time, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not getting to y'all apparently, okay? They have a job. If ISIS is conducting an operation and the people living in the area are infringing on them and preventing them. No, I mean ISIS. If ISIS, can I please answer the question? Let me just answer the question. Let me finish. Just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean you just cut me off, bro. Let me finish it. Let me finish.
Let him answer the question, please.
If ICE is conducting an operation and the people in that area are preventing them from doing that, from getting that done, and they send in the Marines so they can finish conducting that operation, then it is what it is. I feel no ways. If they're taking out illegal immigrants and the people are trying to stop them from doing it, then I don't see nothing wrong with them doing it. It is what it is. You're legal, you gotta go.
What's the regulation? What's the regulation, Rashad, for active duty soldiers when it comes to law enforcement operations?
Tell me, I don't.
If you're active duty, what is your job when it comes to civilian population?
Wait, you active duty right now?
Yeah, he's active duty and he's saying this dumb shit. So, what is your job as an active duty? He's in the Army. What is your job as active duty when it comes to civilian population? Domestic.
Tell me.
So you don't have no ladders in it because you're not being. It's not martial law. So you don't have a right to arrest a U.S. citizen. So honestly,
you'd be in prison right now if you have the right commander, if they want to fucking investigate you and say this is wrong. So this is another thing, right? So even some of the things that's going on now, you have the DOD investigating with them in its own ranks now. You do know that, right?
I mean, isn't there an investigation that he's overstepped his power, right?
No, so you're just talking about civilian side. I'm talking about the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense is investigating even Pete Nixon right now when it comes to. So you, as an active duty soldier, are going to go ahead and break the law. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Wait a second. So what about lawful orders for
No, that's okay. He already said he's going to break the law. Break the law.
Yeah, that's wild.
Exactly. Y'all do this thing right when y'all ask me. Y'all ask me.
These are the
questions.
I'm okay with your answer, but you're the soldier I don't want in my formation.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Because as
so
an
everybody
active
be
duty soldier, your job is foreign affairs, right? Not domestic. That's what National Guard is. The only time that they would need you would be to, if they even used you, would be to protect a federal building.
I'm probably on the front lines of your formation, but that's a different topic.
No, you wouldn't be on the front line of my formation. I put you in prison because I know that you'll do whatever the fuck you want if you were outside on a cop somewhere.
Yeah.
I know that you're not responsible. You don't know your basic 350-1 nor any of your fucking basic training when it comes to legal procedures. Well, you don't know your TLPs. I know you don't. Because you don't know your responsibility.
You say we don't need to, Daddy.
I don't need to.
So what is your warrior ethos? What is your warrior ethos? What is your warrior ethos? And what did you swear to when you came into the military?
That I
Just
should
for example, baby.
You had it because you raised your right hand.
I did. I came in another way.
That's a cool.
Yeah, it's a call. She's right. It's a call.
When you come up on stage pretending that you're in like good faith argument, you're talking about Trump and all these things, and I'm actually talking to you like you're a normal
He's a
human.
criminal. So you don't need to. He already said what he is. He's a criminal.
Right.
I don't need to continue this conversation with him.
Elijah, I answered. Yeah, go ahead.
How long you been in the military?
14 years.
Wow.
You spoke before your birthday, bro.
I am.
You never done like this, bro? Come on, man.
He's
No, well, the thing is, so the thing is, right? So what I'll say, what I'll say is, right?
Rashad, why are you starting problems in this room?
No, I'm not. They asked me a question, I gave them an answer, and they don't like it. So
Are you drinking today?
No.
He's I think it's fair. If he's a criminal within our ranks, we do have criminals within our ranks. These are the same people that when they go outside the wire, they do illegal shit. These are the people that make our army look bad, our military look bad. They're the ones that rape civilians. They're the ones that beat civilians. They're the ones that go into fucking communities and they fucking
Pierce me something.
So like this is an example of a fucked up ass soldier. He does everything against the regulation, doesn't know what he's sworn into, said he's been in for 14 years, should know the oath of enlistment by heart, should know warrior ethos by heart, doesn't understand loyalty, doesn't understand none of that. He doesn't know nothing. He probably don't even know the soldier's creed. Say the second paragraph of the NCO creed. I'm an officer, and I know the second paragraph, and I'm not an NCO. So say the second paragraph.
Mom, Rashad.
Yeah, Rashad don't know it. Google it real quick. You're not an NCO. You're an idiot.
Patty, I read up the other day, they keeping me. That's even worse, right? They keep me.
Yeah, that shit's scary.
Give me another. Hey, they said we gonna keep you to 20, young nigga.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
You know, hey, Rashad, I think that you should never make the argument that somebody don't like your answer. Maybe it's that you didn't give them the answer they were looking for, meaning that they were looking for an answer whether they like it or not, right? But you didn't answer the question.
He did answer the question. What do you want him to say, Royal?
No.
He was honest. I'm glad that he was honest.
No. What he said was, "I'm gonna do my job," and I'm like, okay, that was regardless of whether you're gonna do your job or not. We weren't asking that. He was asking, how do you personally feel
mean, Rashad doesn't have a moral obligation.
Rashad, real talk though, bro.
People who are illegal, bro. People who are illegal are.
So, bro, I don't know if you're trolling, but I hope you're not, bro. Seriously. Because you taking care of soldiers, that's a real fucking responsibility. Taking care of
Haitian.
motherfuckers' kids.
He's taking care of,
Haitian. The man asked me how do I.
they don't care who's doing that.
People who are illegal are being deported, and people are trying, and civilians are trying to prevent them from getting the operation done. It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, but that's not
exactly what it is, right? Because first of all, America has always had people that are papers aren't correct, right? So again, why is he going after people that are not breaking the, that are not committing crimes? Yes, they broke the law by coming in the country. Some did, some didn't.
That's a misdemeanor. That's a misdemeanor. That's not a.
Haitian.
He said he gonna take it out, which he hasn't taken out yet.
Some on TPS status, some were asylum. So again, Rashad, she said 14 years. You about to finish out, right? You're 20, and you don't understand that typically active duty is not to patrol people in the fucking country.
I understand that. Typically, I understand.
Yo, I really don't be trolling, bro.
No, you got to see. I'm agreeing with you, Haitian. I'm agreeing with you. I know. Haitian.
You counsel your soldiers every month.
Sir, are you hearing me? Look, you just said it's not typical. I said I agree with you. It is not typical. It is not the norm. I am agreeing with you. Yes, it is not the norm.
You said you're willing to break laws in order to do whatever you have to do. What about, I don't understand. What about lawful order? What about
do you think in combat zones we typically always abide by the Geneva
We're not in combat zone.
We're not right now. We're talking about U.S. citizens.
I've been in one.
Well, it doesn't.
I'm not trying to into a pissing contest. I just. I'm giving very straightforward answers. Y'all just don't like the answers.
Yeah, but you don't say shit happens in the combat zone.
Miss Patty the only one that seemed to accept what I was saying. What you saying? No, I don't think service members firing off on civilians. I'm not saying, no, I would never think that was okay. No.
Yeah, double tap and shit like that. Okay, we get it.
Rashad, how do you feel about Zelensky? That's my question.
I mean, I think, is a president trying to stop his country from being occupied? I can't knock him for that.
So, do you have any personal stake in the war? And when I say that, I mean, would you want Zelensky to win? Do you want Putin?
I mean, I would think I want Zelensky to win. And this is from someone who's here right now. I can tell you, these people from afar, it's just white people fighting white people. We talked about it. If they hop out of the churches and they wasn't wearing their uniforms, I would think it's just white people fighting white people. But I will say that you cannot tell a people that, hey, or Polish people or people in Lithuania, and I just did an operation with them 3 months ago, that, hey, you were trying to stop yourself from being occupied by another country. You should just put your weapon down. They're not about to enslave you. They're just going to, their government will be in power, but they're not going to enslave you. Y'all not going to be in chains. Y'all not going to be on plantations. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been occupied by them before. But I can't tell somebody hey, you don't want to be owned by them. It's stupid that you're trying to fight them. I can't tell them that. You know what I'm saying? Especially being black. It's hey, listen, if you're willing to die to stay liberated, then by all means do that. That's on you. Go ahead and do that. Because if it was the black people, I would feel the same way. Hey, y'all gotta fight. Y'all can't just bow down. Y'all gotta crash out. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, now you're talking about black and brown people being deported unjustly, right? And that means some of them will be put into prison for the rest of their life. What else? How do you feel about that?
I mean, and look, the thing about it is, I think there are some lines being crossed. And that's why I say, when I say certain things about Trump, I agree with certain things I disagree. Even when Biden was in office, there are certain things I agree with wholeheartedly, and there are certain things I disagree with. It's not like there's never been a president in office where I 100% agree with their policies, even down to Obama. And Obama was the first time I felt it as an adult because I was in the Marine Corps at the time. And because he was in office, they downsized and the budget shrunk and then the Marine Corps shrunk. So I felt that firsthand. And I was like, oh, wow, shit, when people get in office, it really does affect me on a very personal level. So, and I was still an advocate. I voted for, wait, hold on. Let me finish. I voted for Obama in the next term because, you know, my president is black. I got to stand on business. At the same time, I will say that, like, if you come into the, like, it seems like a lot of times people are deciding that because Trump is in office that, hey, I need to apply, or my visa, my green card expired, whatever, I need to reapply. If you are already illegal, just because you reinitiate that application, if you're still illegal, you're still illegal. They can still grab you. That's still a fact. It does not change just because you made the concerted effort to get things fixed. You're still, your status is not changed.
That's not true, Rashad. You're talking about temporary protected status people. That shouldn't apply to them.
Yeah.
So that goes down to a conversation about due process and all that. But let me get this straight. So you're saying that you like Trump. I just want to reiterate. I just want to loop back. You like Trump. You like some of the things that he's doing. You think that it's smart that he's doing things about NATO. You like the fact that he's standing out of business with Putin, even though he's not. And you like his immigration policy. How do you feel about the people who are what is it? What's the Job Corps? Like the fact that Job Corps he just canceled that.
I also know ways. I've never been in Job Corps. It doesn't affect me first. Like, wait, here we go. I asked a question, you know, I'm saying, the reason I can't speak on that is because it doesn't affect me. It's like I can't say certain things, policies. Like if it don't play no factor in my life, it don't play no factor in my life. It's kind of like how I spoke about, like, hold on quickly. I would use the same analogy when I just spoke about Obama and how when he shrunk the budget, it affected the Marine Corps. Some people there are like, yo, we don't give a fuck about that. That had nothing to do with me. That's you. You were the one who decided you wanted to be in the Marine Corps. So obviously that wouldn't affect them, and I can't knock them because they don't care about that. The same way with the Job Corps. Does it affect people's lives? Yes. But does it affect
your whole point, bro? I get your whole point.
Okay. I'm just making sure because.
No. You don't have to make sure. I get it. So here's my thing. The VA. He's slashing VA, everything in the VA. That's you, right?
I mean, it's 7 years, I guess, but he won't be president for sure.
Right. So he's slashing all that. How do you feel about that?
Being affected 7 years, genius.
Absolutely affect you. How do you think that's going?
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe you'll figure it out in 7 years and get back.
Nah, I'll get back. He's squared away with 3 tires. You can figure it out on your own, bro. Because people get now are definitely going to get fucked.
I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
But you know what's interesting?
Go ahead, gun, buddy. And go between the position, grab an ankle, baby.
Yeah, some people are actively they know that is huge. The fact that he's affecting vets already, or like retroactively, like he basically is letting people know from the jump, hey, you're like not even that you're going into war. Hey, we're gonna slash these benefits. Oh, and by the way, we might be going into a war, right? Like, you're saying that's not. You're not really gonna care about that until that affects you, correct? I just want to make sure that I got.
So can you tell me? Wait. So can you tell me what? Because I'm looking at some information right now, and it says like there is a large increase in the spending bill.
Wait. This is
So Rashad, you know what? You know what a lot of money is being invested in?
Tell me.
Something that sounds real stupid. You're probably gonna be like, what the fuck? He wants to do this thing called a golden dome.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, to like protect the borders.
Does that sound smart to you?
I mean, I don't know. Like intercontinental missiles is ICBMs,
right?
Yeah, I know.
You know how the Iron Dome
what exactly it is. Missile systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, short-range missile systems. Right. So imagine having one over the United States and what the cost looks like.
It's crazy.
Do we need one?
That's always been one.
Be honest, do we need one?
I don't know. In 10 years, these intercontinental ballistic
No.
missiles.
So why would we need one if we have our own Patriot missile defense systems?
Because a Patriot missile system can't catch a hypersonic missile.
So check this out. You're infantry, right? So you do know that there are additional weapon systems that are called 2029, 2030, 2031, stuff like that, right? You know, there's a radar that they've been investing billions of dollars in, right?
Yes, but it can't catch a hypersonic missile.
So you don't know what they got that may be able to catch. Why don't you do a Google search, or why don't you like talk to your boss? Talk to one of the officers that got more rank than 2 balls.
He made it clear that he's gonna follow orders even if they're somehow unlawful.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what he claims he wants to do, he can go to prison on his own.
Yeah.
That's his choice, right? There's a lot of soldiers in the military that are rogue. But then he also made statements that contradict what he actually was saying. So I'm just confused.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, I don't. So I can tell you right now, and this is, if anybody has any information that is different, please show me a source. But there is nothing right now reliably that can catch a hypersonic missile.
With the missiles, the Golden Dome be for Canada or for Mexico? I always think, what's it for?
It's like the Iron Dome. They just call it the Golden Dome.
Yeah, but who are we defending against? Canada, Mexico?
No, China. What are you talking about? Different.
North Korea already has a long-range missile system that can reach to Guam, and then we don't know if it can reach to the U.S., but we do know it can.
Yeah, being active duty and not worrying about veteran affairs is kind of wild to me if that's going to be your whole life for the rest of your life after active duty.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Especially when you cut a lot of shit already, bro.
As an active duty, are you allowed to talk here?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's allowed to. Well, he's not a robot. What's going on here? Y'all don't do that.
It's not no for.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. They do have weapon systems, right? And that's why I said do a Google search. They have weapon systems. You ever heard of the OPIR?
No, I don't think there's. We have weapon systems. We have defense weapon systems without question. But to be able to catch a hypersonic missile, like, have you seen them? Have you seen them in action? It's not easily interceptable.
Can I speak?
So the Navy, right? They have this thing called. They have an interceptor called a GPI, right? And that's what they're using for HEVs. You are tracking that, right?
I mean, I'm not.
It catches them during mid-course.
It's catching hypersonic missiles.
Yeah, so it's a program. And then you know the THAAD that we currently have now, right? They've extended it, and it's called a THAAD-ER. So with the THAAD-ER, that is so we have it. We're not using it yet, but that's supposed to be with the higher speed intercepts. You are tracking this, right?
Yeah, so I'm looking at that right now.
The problem is, and that's why I think you're operational. So when operational, y'all depend on a QR-37, QR-35, stuff like that, right? But outside of operational, we have this thing called strategic. You know what strategic is, right? That's anything from an ESC, a TSC, to your combatant commands. And they're the ones that's going to deploy something like an SM-6 when it comes to missiles. They're the ones that's going to have, like, the THAAD-ER. So the THAAD is very expensive itself. But even with the ER, we don't even really use them like that. And if we have to use it, we know it has cost the government billions of dollars. We could lose it, and that's why we haven't used it. Or even if you look at the SPIs, the Navy has those. Those are in the NDA program right now. And those are all public, so it's nothing top secret. It may have been top secret maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. This is not top secret. But there are things that we have in place if we had to go into a large-scale war. So aren't they training y'all when it comes to your shoot, move, and communicate on what a large-scale war looks like?
Of course.
So what have they told you is going to happen if we go in the next war? To you, Rashawn.
Hey, it's gonna be a lot of dying.
You're not coming home.
So the thing is,
your peaky finger's not coming home. So 1,000 soldiers are gonna die a day.
So I would say that I don't know if it's gonna be necessarily like that, but I can tell you that the idea.
It actually is.
Wait, so I'm telling you
Talk
what.
to anybody that's a major above, because you know majors have to start doing their TD time. So talk to anybody that's a major above, and if they've already done their time, they will tell you you are going to die.
So I can tell you from being out there, right? Because a major just checking a checklist.
No, a major isn't just checking a checklist.
It's different when you're but it's different when you're actually out there and you're actually getting real casualties. But I can tell you that how you operate though is the idea that drones will drastically change warfare, and it's not really going to be a.
That's not true. That's why
it's not
the domain. That's not true, Rashad.
Wait, let me finish. It's not going to be a necessarily troops on ground type of, I don't know, like battlefield, like, you know, like.
Rashad, you're still wrong.
In the
It
trenches.
is going to be troops on ground. It has to be troops on ground.
I'm not saying, I'm saying in a large capacity.
So in a large scale war, it's troops on ground.
Wait, I'm saying it's not going to be like that because drones drastically change war.
That's not true.
Because you can basically. I know. Wait, let me explain. The reason I say this, one thing is because you could have a $500 drone that you spent $500 to get together, and it can completely dismantle if you hit it in a sweet spot, a paladin.
What's a drone?
No, stop. Let him finish.
Wait, let me read. So like let's say a fiber optic drone, you know what I'm saying, or let's say a more advanced drone. Drones are really cheap to make, and the thing is, a high value asset would be, let's say, a tank, right? You know what I'm saying? What you find is that you're suffering major losses, and they've noticed this in Ukraine. You're suffering major on both sides. You're suffering major losses for something that damn near was made on Amazon parts. So because of this, it makes you have to rethink war. Because you can't just, if I throw a bunch of troops, but you use a bunch of, $200 drones, and you taking out my entire troop line, then it's like, damn, we just wasted lives. You know what I'm saying? Without question, people are going to die. But right now, because the Ukraine-Russian conflict has shown us that you cannot just use the same tactics that we use to save battles.
Gibberish now.
Okay, sure, bro.
No, go ahead and go. You got 20 seconds.
No, I'm done.
What you're talking about is hybrid warfare, and the fact that drone, with a large scale operation, the one that Patty's talking about, it would be both. It would be drones, and it would be people on lots.
It's going to be people on ground. So this is the thing. When it comes to the drones, right? Did they ever talk to y'all about the Valkyrie or even the Ghost Bat and how those wingman drones are going to be alongside the warfighter? That should be have you done a warfighter exercise at all? Because you are in Europe. Have you done any warfighter exercises? Obviously not. So if you know anything about those Valkyries or those Ghost Bats, they're going to be alongside the warfighter. The problem with the drones, right, and this is any drone, I don't care how advanced you think this is, because it's going to be a collaborative combat. The problem with the drones is the reason why we added the additional, what do you call it? What do y'all call it? It's a board question for y'all, this domain. The reason why we added the additional domain is because of technology. Because of
that is not a board question.
That is a word. The 6 domains. What are the 6 domains? That's a word question. What are the 6 domains? Since you've been in for 14 years, this is a board question for you fucking idiots. What is the 6 domains?
I'm not answering that question. Go ahead though.
Do you know the 6 domains? Because obviously your ass said you won't be on ground.
Yeah. I know
what is the 6 domains?
I'm not about to answer that question. Finish your point.
Because you don't know the answer. So the problem is the addiction. No, you don't. You don't.
Then finish. I said then finish. I said I don't. Then
Okay, so
finish.
this is the problem. You'll always be at company level because you don't know what the fuck is going on.
I guess
You know
I
what you
will.
are? You are a body that they put out there so you can get shot and killed so that the people that have common sense can move forward and make this work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's who you are.
I'm not
I just want you to know that. Because you honestly, you don't know shit about 350-1. You don't know your regulations. You don't know your ADPs.
I don't.
You don't know your fucking basic troop leading procedures.
I don't.
And if we were to fucking do an MMRP, your ass wouldn't be sitting at the fucking
I
table.
wouldn't. You're absolutely right. I wouldn't. I'm outside.
No, there's people outside that actually sit down for these. You wouldn't be one of
I'm
them.
outside. Okay.
No, you wouldn't be one of them. You know,
I wouldn't.
if you were E7, you'd be probably the dumbest motherfucker. They'd say, don't send them up here to get notes.
I agree with you.
So Rashawn, one domain, just off the top of my head would be land, and the other five would be.
Yeah, equal house of civilian. You know, land,
Come on,
air, space.
Rashawn.
What's the
Tell
other
me.
one?
Tell me.
I'm trying to give you. I'm giving you a hint. You should know this. If you
I know, but
you are an NCO like you claimed, right?
I'm
Yeah,
catfish.
even a
He is
basic,
catfish.
I'm catfish.
even a basic, right? Before Hell Week would know that. That's something you learn in that's something you learn in the first week when you're learning
Very well,
rank, right? Uniformation, how to dress, right?
I didn't even go to I didn't even go to Hell Week. I didn't even go to Hell Week. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you.
These are the people that are
Okay, so can I get 30 seconds? 30 seconds fun with them. So you are familiar with aegis systems, right? You were talking about hypersonic. Are you familiar with what we as the U.S. military have in terms of hypersonic capabilities? What Pat was trying to turn you on to? Like,
Yes,
for
I do know.
instance, the
Yes.
U.S. Navy Halo operation, right, and program, which they're fighting about in terms of money right now. We have our own hypersonics, if you're familiar with that, across all branches, right? We also have hypersonic defense capabilities, which is why I was trying to mention, right, the aegis systems, right, the Navy, right. You should know this. Right?
Yes,
So when I was jumping off the mic before, and I apologize for that, I was trying to ask you, do you feel that drones are a force or force multiplier? See, I see where you're going with that. You're talking about automated weapon systems, right? Like DUs, laws, right? Drones, what have you, right? The stuff that came out 20 years ago. We're now on third, fourth generation, right? But have you ever seen a military use them as a first line, right? Active line, right? In kinetic warfare? Or are they just a false multiplier, as Patty was saying, to
They're just a force multiplier, Rashad. Have you actually seen them in practice? Do you know what the biggest problem we've been having with them? And this is like letting little kids play with these little young motherfuckers that's on in cybersecurity. You know what they've been doing? They've been jamming them. They've been fucking with them to give them GPS denial. When we put them in certain areas, in air defense areas where in contested zones, they haven't been working well. So if you're looking at a full spectrum war, that is why the drones have to go alongside the warfighter. They may be a force multiplier, but when you're talking about operational, I'm telling you, we have had issues, and that's with any drone out there when it comes to the jamming and GPS denial issues.
You can't jam a fiber optic.
That's why we added the additional domain.
So you can't jam a fiber optic drone.
Trust me, they have done GPS denial.
It's literally like a landline connection. How can you jam it? It's on a spool of thread.
Remember when?
Do you know what a GPS denial is?
Remember when Iran took our drone and they broadcasted it all over television? They downed one of our drones, and we were doing the same with them. This was like
that wasn't a fiber optic drone. That wasn't a fiber optic drone.
These are the drones that Patty was mentioning before. You know what I mean? And they happened to down one of our drones, right? And they were displaying it on Iranian television and showing the motherboard and the CPU and all that.
Oh, you're asking me or telling me? I thought you were about to.
No, I was just asking you. I think that's what she's referencing. You know what I mean?
No. So when
Yeah, but I'm
it was just more microwave. So there are
issues with those. So they do get EW interference. So there are ways that they jam it, and that's why I said you still can get GPS denial. It's going to be through the EM pulse when it comes to violence. So they can be countered. They can be countered. They can be countered. So they can be countered. Just so you try.
So the issue right now is not about like there's a defense.
This conversation is
but it's like
nothing else.
When you're
let's go back to something else.
ADHD is whooping your ass.
No, it is because nobody understands what's going on. We're speaking a different language. It doesn't matter, Rashad. You can't talk another language in a room. If this is a room full of military people, then we can have this conversation.
Fair. So Patty, what would happen if Rashad, like, if someone found out that I guess like Rashad was open to unlawful orders, and he was in the infantry?
So honestly, I'm just gonna be straight up and honest with you. Under this administration, there's a possibility that nothing could happen, but the Department of Defense still does its investigations. They're gonna recommend what needs to happen. They could put them in D-cell, but the way this administration, because they want this to happen or they want soldiers to do these illegal things, yeah, I got it. He may get passed, but that doesn't guarantee that Trump will be in office for 4 years. Right? And it doesn't guarantee that he's going to get somebody in the next administration that's going to pardon all these soldiers that do the illegal shit that they are being asked. So, like, let's pretend that fucking Millie getting shot the legs, because that's what the question was. He told Millie, shoot the protesters in their legs. You don't have to kill them, just shoot them in the legs. If he would have said, okay, I'm going to take the order of the president, knowing goddamn well there's ADPs and ARs and TMs and FMs and AFs and Navy doctrine, all kinds of doctrine, joint doctrine, Department of Defense doctrine, and he went against it and said this is their order. This came from the president. His ass to be locked up under Biden.
All right. Rashad, can I ask you a question? Well, I'll ask you the same question. What would happen if someone knew in your rank that you would actually obey unlawful orders?
I don't think nothing would happen.
Okay.
It would be on the
So you're catfishing on the internet and no one can find you. You feel free to speak about this just a little bit.
Wait. So I'm not catfishing on the internet. You can probably find me. Just do a
No, but Rashad, I'm going to be honest with you. Remember last time I put you down because you said something and I was like,
well, wait, hold on. Let him stay up because I have a magic trick.
No. So this is Elijah. Rashad, I put you down last time.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
My last name is not Carter.
Yeah, it is. I got your Facebook, but
okay.
So your last name's not Carter?
Hey, man, please don't do this. We don't need to. You don't need to.
Bro, I know. Listen, Elijah. Listen, Elijah. I've been on Clubhouse for damn near like.
You should be on Clubhouse, but you know this.
I guarantee people have. I know. Look, people have found me. They have found my lady. All the time. I'm not afraid of nothing.
This is not a conversation. We don't care.
I know.
Just leave it alone.
I know. Wait, let me finish. If you trying to go here, we can go here. I'm just saying, bro.
I just need to go there either. Let's not talk about somebody's life.
My personal phone number.
Yo, bro. Next conversation. We don't need to talk about people's identity, yo. Like, let's leave that out of the conversation. Next topic. Come on.
Yeah, because some of the stuff that you're saying could be like you can go to jail. You know that. Like you can't go against.
He asked me a question, I gave an answer.
Yeah, I got you. Change your name, Rashawn.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Wrong person gonna call.
That's
the right one.
IG got a hotline that's on the internet.
Yeah, let them know. That way they can record the conversation and say,
do that. Do your due diligence as an American citizen. You have a duty.
Yeah, you sat on the stage and said you did stuff against Geneva Conventions. You sat on this stage and you have revealed, like, when you were doing an operation when you know damn well you're not supposed to be talking about stuff like that. Like, this is kind of weird. I'm going to go ahead and drop you.
Even in a corporation, they tell you are not allowed to talk freely. I mean, I highly doubt you can be an active member and go and make US Navy look bad freely because you like.
Right, like some people are really stupid when they sit up here and be like, right now, we're doing an operation in Poland, and I'm sitting right here, right now. I'm doing Operation Eagle Hawk. And then if you Google Operation Eagle Hawk, it's not on the internet and it's not on nobody's. Like, you can't do shit like that. He knows that. He's a dummy.
Anyways, back to what we were talking about before. Do you think the Golden Dome should maybe be put in like Washington, New York, or a place like that? Obviously, across America is probably not cost effective. But what about in like concentrated areas?
You don't need it. We have, so let's say it's a concentrated. You have these things called, you got defense systems. So all they have to do is move the defense system to that area. That's it.
What do you mean by that?
They can do it within. They can do it.
What do you mean?
On
Defense systems. Isn't the Golden Dome a defense system?
So all it does is deter, right? So if a missile is coming in, it's gonna shoot the missile out the sky. That's it. Do you know we have defense systems right now all over the United States on certain bases? You have this thing called J35, which is Joint 35, where they do strategic planning for. They're considered a staff job. So the J35 people will be like, hey, there's a possibility of something coming in from North Korea because we've seen activity. They would move that system to wherever they think that they're going to try to shoot at. You know,
but isn't that the same technology?
Excuse me?
Aren't those defense systems the same technology?
As what?
This Golden Dome.
Pretty much. It's just for it only the trajectory is only so much. So if you're gonna do a Golden Dome over the whole United States, just imagine how much that's gonna cost.
That's insane.
Yeah,
the question is like New York. Like
they can move it.
Areas.
They can move it. You got Fort Drum right up the street. Like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
You got Fort Drum. You got Fort Meade. You got.
So we already have this Golden Dome technology.
So you have the technology, but we don't have enough to protect the whole United States, where it would just be a big ass, like you can just shoot shit all over out. Shoot shit from Canada, shoot shit from Mexico, shoot shit from fucking the Pacific, shoot shit from the Atlantic, just to be in location at the same time. Like if Canada decided to shoot at the same time Mexico was trying to shoot, then let's say China and North Korea and West Africa, let's just say all those countries, let's shoot towards the United States. We don't have enough systems for that. But we have enough systems to control the U.S. How about that? Does that sound good? I mean, it has to come from all areas.
We have subs around, right, on both coasts, right?
We have Navy bases, right?
Yeah. Navy bases.
I heard somewhere they're working on this technology, which is a drone curtain. So you don't shoot them, so you just create a curtain above critical area. So if drone the missile pass through, it just explode. It's pretty cheap and very effective.
he's like, I think she's like 47.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so it's 49 and 39.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and he's like 37, 39,
Right.
49.
They met at Heiress Vicky Hilton Rothschild's. I guess it was just through a dinner or something in the meatpacking district of New York.
Oh, I thought that was at some Hillary Clinton event.
Yeah.
It says,
They got engaged at the Hillary Clinton event?
yeah, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. But yeah, he's 39, she's 49. And he's the one who leads, he's actually the one who leads the Open Society.
And they're the foundation for his dad.
Like, if you're a right winger, this is, you're just going to prove right about everything.
I think now she matters, but I think all that other stuff before was just like right wing hyperventilating about Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah, it was all a bunch of bullshit, for sure.
I mean, cause she was just like who,
Yeah, I thought all that was just a bunch of nonsense. But, that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, this article, this is like every MAGA's fever dream of how the swamp operates. Like, people going to fancy dinners where all the famous people get together, eating expensive food, traveling to expensive places. Wow. There's a quote here where so they're talking about how like their courtship. And he says, and on Sunday night, I cooked, Mr. Soros said. That means I ordered from Nobu. What is going on, man?
I think, does it say in there about their wedding? I think the dual religion wedding was really kind of cool.
I'm on the jewelry purchases right now about their debut, quote unquote, at the Met Gala. God. Yeah, so they signed the ketubah in honor of Mr. Soros' Jewish faith and Nikah in honor of Ms. Abedin's Muslim faith in an intimate interfaith ceremony. People there included Hillary Clinton. Wow, it says Mrs. Clinton and her husband. That's fine. I know that's his former president, but then former Vice President Kamala Harris and her husband Doug Emhoff, Chuck Schumer, and Keith Jeffries, Pelosi, Jimmy Fallon, Jennifer Lawrence, Adrian Brody, Sienna Miller, Mariska Hargitay, the Rothschilds, and Anna Wintour. Boys and Men performed.
Not the Rothschild.
Well, that was the connection. With someone who's supposed to be Hilton and a Rothschild. They also had a toast from the Prime Minister of Albania. As you do. You gotta have at least one Prime Minister toast to your wedding, or it's not a real wedding, right?
Yeah, and the more obscure the country, the better. So, at the wedding I'm gonna have a toast from the Prime Minister of Kyrgyzstan. And that's who I'm gonna get. Do they have a Prime Minister in Kyrgyzstan?
I have no idea. It's such an obscure choice that you made.
Oh, right. It might be an Emir or something. Whoever it is. Kazakhstan. Isn't that a different country?
Kyrgyzstan.
Wait a minute. I thought it was Kazakhstan.
Kyrgyz is what you're going for.
Okay. Because I thought you said Kazakhstan, which I was saying you could get Sacha Baron, which is the next best thing.
I used to live with his wife's half brother. Very, very random. We had her like boxes of high school shit in our attic. It's just like, and you know the woman who says, "I'll find you," and Wedding Crashers, Isla Fisher. Yeah. Very, very random connection.
Yeah, that's it. Kyrgyzstan. That's the one. Over there by the Turks. That's the one I'm gonna get.
You see, you already messed up on the wedding plans.
It's bordered by Kazakhstan. And if they deny me because they have that taste, I can always get Tajikistan. Is that one too? Tajikistan?
Okay, so to say Sasha, you can't get Kyrgyzstan because they are assholes.
Fascination with Sasha.
Oh no! That's literally the joke. He was like, if you watch the first Borat.
Is that where he's from, really?
I don't know, but I mean that's what he says. He said, "This is Kazakhstan. We're located to Kyrgyzstan, and they are assholes." That's literally the first couple lines. Yeah.
They won't deny me though. If only because they would like to one up Tajikistan. Thank you.
That's where you moving out, AJ?
No, that's what's gonna do the two-stitch wedding I never had to have. I was in Lufax's room last night. It's a long story. But in that room, they were having a very similar argument. So there's a woman, her name is Chat, exclamation point. And she was having a conversation with someone who was trying to tell her the same thing about the missiles and all that. And he was giving bad information and challenging her very accurate information. And the same way that the conversation was happening just now. How could this happen to you tonight? Yes, Maya, I am, but I'm leaving right now.
love those gifts. Just don't get tired of that. It's amazing. If you were just being, this is therapy. Okay.
So this is therapy time?
Not for you to talk about on matter trifling.
Okay, so let me get this off my chest. All right, so you know I was telling you, Mel, earlier how I was like, I'm not feeling good. Like, I think I had COVID. I'm gonna go get my test, whatever. So there's this guy that has been like trying to get with me for like a year, right? But I have a man, so I'm like, hey, like I'm not interested. We can be friends, right? We're overlapping social groups. So he like apparently is like, I posted on my Instagram that I was gonna go get some antibiotics. And he's like, oh, like I can come over to your house to bring you some soup. And I was like, hey, like Joey, just so you know, like my boyfriend is gonna be here later. And he's like, oh, like after he leaves, I can come over and we can like watch a movie together. And I was like, bro, you've been at this for 7 months. How many times I gotta tell you no, you trifling ass hoe? That's all I. Just like, anyway.
Did you say that out loud?
No, I didn't say that to him directly, but I wanted to. These men will be lurking, in the background, waiting for something to go wrong in your relationship so they can slide right in. So you gotta be careful with those that are just like casually lurking in the. Anyways, that was my. I had to get that off my chest. But why do you think men are trifling, Your Honor?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Often poorly trained.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
there are trifling men out there. I don't know if they're all trifling.
We have Grey Ghost vampires in the chat. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm not trifling. I'm well trained.
But you're like married and like settled down, right? Like you're in your like established.
Yeah, I'm not trifling. Yeah.
You should lead a class on how to like, be a domesticated house husband, because this app is full of.
I don't know about all that. I'm not a domesticated house husband. What's going on? I mean, I put the seat down, but that doesn't mean I'm a domesticated house husband.
Guys, I think I'm also my period's about to start because I've been getting the weirdest cravings today. Like I've been thinking about biscuits all day, and I think I'm gonna order a biscuit from. So,
Yeah, maybe you're pregnant.
I think it might. This happens like every month with me. It's my period.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Ready to be a real mother.
I've been ready. No, but I do get. They do say that like. Do you all ever get the randomest cravings for food sometimes? Like, where does this come from? Like, this is random.
I never think of it as random.
Really?
A common cause is vitamin deficiencies.
Really?
Exactly.
I get my blood work done regularly, and I also do this thing called like biome gut health analysis exam that measures all your vitamin levels, and they would tell me if I was deficient.
Are you a biohacker?
I don't know what that means, but I do invest quite
Sounds
a bit.
like it.
Right? That was given biohacker, right?
So it's like optimization of like your gut biome. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what a biohacker is.
Yeah. So the report will tell you like where all your vitamin levels are and et cetera, and it's like it checks for like 200 and something are not normally caught in like lab work and lab tests. And then
You are 100% biohacker.
Yeah, you just didn't know what it's called.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so I gotta add that to my LinkedIn file.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah, if you came from a more cultured state, you would definitely know the term.
You're literally hacking your bio. Oh, yes, okay. I just didn't know that was a thing. Is that a common thing in California? It's like
It's a stereotype against Californians. Yes.
Yeah, it is very. I mean, yeah, trying to live forever and all of that stuff.
Well, we were actually talking about this in another room, like the decline in the average American male's testosterone levels in the United States and why that's happened. They're like 40% drop over the last couple decades. And so what is the impact of that on like male fertility? They were talking about this in a different room like 20 minutes ago. But that's important. Y'all should go get your testosterone levels checked. And if it's not on level, you got to get that fixed, you know? And also they say if you're not horny, you're not healthy. So you should be you should be wanting to dick down your wife. You know, Aaron, if you're not, then you got to go get your blood work. See what's going on down.
Yeah, we're not talking about my sexuality on that here.
Okay, let's not talk about Aaron.
But let's just say I don't need to talk to the doctor.
And in general.
What the hell?
You're not horny on a regular basis.
I know, right? Right now, what is going on?
I just hide my volume and all I hear is.
I think I know what
Mother, what happened? Mother, are you sexually frustrated?
No.
It's all those vitamins. It's all those vitamins.
I think because I'm sick and not feeling well, everything is like off. Like I'm hungry, I'm a little hangry, but I'm like, I don't know why, because I just ate. Like I think it's my time of the month. But we were talking about testosterone levels and how they got down.
That's your time of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can take COVID off the list. It sounds like your blood work is coming back normal, so I'm glad to see that. So it's clear there's only one condition that you can possibly have. It's verbal diarrhea. I diagnosed it.
Oh man, I got it from Trent. Oh man.
He could be patient zero. It's possible.
I'm gonna stop hanging out with Trent.
No, but jokes aside, y'all should go get your levels checked. I got mine checked. Mine were good, but I get them checked as part of my recurrent blood work every couple months. So I gotta know if the boys are doing good.
Why are you getting blood work done every couple of months?
I have to, for prep purposes. I have to get it done anyways.
For what purposes?
Because I'm sexually active, gay man, I take prep, which prevents the transmission of HIV. And you have to get recurring blood work done every 3 months anyways. But on top of that, I pay for additional blood work to make sure everything is good. So before you get your prescription refilled, they go and check that you're blah, blah, blah. I'm only dating one guy right now, but because I have trust issues, I'm going to keep taking prep until this is we're married, I don't know, these men be cheating on you, and then the next thing you know, you catch something, so I take it out of
Oh, wait, the blood work, is it expensive every 3 months? Because, there's a lot.
Oh, my insurance. Well, without insurance, yes, it's expensive.
No, not expensive. I said extensive. Is it several vials that they have to take a month? Because, some people, they can't do that. They have sensitive veins and all of that. I'm just thinking, that's a lot of blood work every 3 months.
They take about 4 months, usually. Usually it's 4.
I've never heard of having to take it every 3 months.
You don't get, your insurance doesn't require you to go get blood work every 3 months. I have to get it. Before they won't refill my subscription without getting the blood work done.
I've never heard of
That's
this
crazy.
ever. It's interesting, but what state are you in?
But yeah, because insurance, this is just new to me because, to your point, initial point, blood work is expensive. And for your insurance to cover it for every 3 months, I have no words. That's interesting to me.
But I also, I'm not gonna be dishonest. I have very, very good healthcare. Everything is covered under my plan. Pretty much everything. After I go over my $600 deductible, I can get X-rays. I can get MRIs. I can get pretty much everything. So this is an exception. That's not the norm. Most people don't.
Yeah, you better knock on wood.
Do your friends also have blood tests every 3 months?
Yeah, they have to get it.
I'm from Florida too, so I don't know. I feel like that maybe your doctor marked you something at risk so you can get them done.
Well, it's because I'm a homosexual, so we're a higher risk population.
I know PrEP and I know people who take PrEP and
They take PrEP without getting their blood work done every 3 months? Where are they taking it from? Which provider is being
everywhere. I'm also going to travel the world and talk with people who have PrEP, and I've just never heard of blood tests every 3 months.
If I had to get my blood tested every 3 months, they just might as well put me in a coma.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a lot to go through. Yeah, I was like thinking when I had things, they gotta get pediatric needles. Like, it's a whole thing.
I started crying when they opened the needle. I'm like, oh no!
I'm gonna start asking around.
Yeah, Google says that it's recommended. You don't need to, but it's generally recommended to have blood work done every 3 months.
Oh, so it's optional?
Taking PrEP.
I've never heard of anyone actually doing it. So,
I thought everybody did it every 3 months. Let me ask the group chat. Hold on.
Jesus Savior pilot me, I do not.
Not the group chat. I mean, that just further drives home the point that, you know, it's not a choice. That's what who you are. Because why would you sign up for something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not sad. Like there's certain things like when people say, oh, you know, that lifestyle is a choice. I mean, you know, it comes with its own set of trials and tribulations. I'm about to pass out just thinking about blood.
Yeah, I know women that take PrEP. So.
Yeah, anybody can take PrEP, but I don't think that's the reason why it's not a choice.
Especially the women in Atlanta.
I had to take a soul off.
A lot of women in Atlanta taking PrEP. Because, you know, the men that are out there.
And recently, a lot of people around the world who are taking PrEP until the funding was full.
So apparently there's a new medication that's in FDA. Sorry, you just reminded me of this. It's apparently you only have to get it, take it twice a year. It's like a new injection that they're working on, and I'm like, that would be wonderful.
Oh yeah, I saw that in an advertisement. I saw that in an advertisement at my doctor's office. It's a shot you take.
Yeah, there's a shot you take every month.
Somebody in the chat, look what they just said.
No, this one you take it like every 6 months or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not every month.
Take the shot twice a year.
Look at the chat.
Yeah.
But the one that is once every 2 years, funding was pulled from.
No, Joey, he said fag here, absolutely, every 3 months.
No, Benji said that. Joey just laughed.
Oh, he was just laughing.
I got you, Joey, I saw it.
Oh, that's it.
I need better literacy now. I need better literacy.
I need to get glasses. I think I'm pushing 40 now. I think it's time to get glasses, guys.
Oh, girl, yeah. Welcome to the club. Come on, girl. Let's go. Look, when you start to think that the eye, like your light bulbs and the lighting is different, that's when you need glasses.
And when you start pushing the phone away from the face.
I was in denial. I called a friend and was like, when did they reduce the font on the vitamin bottle? And she was like, girl, you need reading glasses. And I was like, no. And I was like, I think I need soft lighting because this hard lighting, I can't see. She was like, you are coming up with every excuse. You need reading glasses.
Have you guys considered LASIK? I've thought about it.
Weird.
My sister
It's weird, people. I don't need my glasses to read. I only need my glasses to see far. I literally take off my glasses when I'm reading.
Yeah, that used to be me. But once I started having like working remotely, I'm in front of my computer so much that it was inevitable. I ended up needing reading glasses during COVID.
Get some blue blocker glasses.
Yeah, I wear blue blockers when I use my computer. But I also, that's like a medium distance.
the Neuralink when it comes out.
Did you just hear me say I was too scared for anything? You gotta get them. Hell no. No, I'm not gonna touch that. But I won't even get in one of these Waymos. And the idea of hooking my brain up to anything that Elon Musk has touched, absolutely not. Not in a million, trillion, bajillion, quadrillion years.
So
That's a Waymo. I took my car back. I took the car back to the dealership because the car was talking too much. I'm like, no, this car is doing too much. It's telling me how to park.
Yeah, I feel like they judge me. Like mine was telling me to pull over and get some coffee because I ran into the side for a railing, and I was like, okay, you're doing too much. I didn't ask you for that.
Wait, you ran into the railing?
I didn't say railing. No. And then it told me, it said eco tip, but it was basically telling me to roll up my window because I guess the car moves faster or whatever. And I was like, I want the window down. Thank you.
Yeah, it's better energy because the car's not filling up with air to make you have to use more power.
There is some medication you can take if the car is talking to you too much, though.
But the guy told me, he was like, you can turn that off. You don't have to return the car. You can just turn that off. I'm like, okay. I don't want to
Did
let
you tell him you want what you want? To take the car
I was
back?
like, okay, I was like, turn it off then. How do I turn it off? And I haven't turned it on since. I don't want all that shit.
Yeah, my friend's Acura, she said that something in the, like, it's like a cell phone code driving thing, and it was like, correcting her steering wheel when she was trying to switch lanes, like she was doing it too early, and then it was trying to help her park, and I was like, I don't need all that. And it was like, when she wanted to decelerate during cruise control, it wasn't doing it when she wanted to do it. Like, it was trying to tell her when to decelerate and accelerate. I was like,
And mine does this thing, like with the mirrors, like when you put it in reverse, it changes, like the side mirrors. I'm like, what the fuck
that's good.
is going on?
I like that part.
I don't want it. I have my mirrors the way I need it. I don't want you doing that.
I like when they turn down because then you can see the curb.
Yeah, they do. They go down. I said, but I can look. I don't need you to do that. First time I went to get my driver's license, the only thing I passed was parallel parking. I'm an expert at parallel parking.
But I still do like that feature. I gotta say, I find that useful.
And do you like the one that beeps when you're parking and you get too close to the curb and it goes beep? Oh.
Yeah, I do, but so I had a really rare form of glaucoma, so I don't see well out of one of my eyes. So judging distance is something that kind of went away for me. So I technically have a disability that makes that really useful for me. So I'm a little.
Yeah, I have to wear. I really need my glasses at night. I have night driving glasses because my depth perception at night is terrible. My doctor said that my what is it, whenever the cataracts or whatever, he said, yeah, they're forming, but you got a long way to go. Like, why? Because when you get that cataract surgery, you get like impeccable vision.
That's why I had two of them, because they had to replace my lenses. Wow. Mm-hmm. It didn't really show up that much for me though, because I was just too young. Like I didn't have it all up yet. But yeah, I talked to some people who have gotten it, and they said they're just like couldn't believe what the world looked like after they got their surgery. It's all sharp and clear again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't need glasses anymore. But I'm gonna have to wait until I'm 80. Because my eyes, like last time I got my eyes checked, my doctor was like, yeah, you don't need new glasses. It's like, what do you mean I don't need new glasses? I've had these glasses. I've had the same glasses for like 5 years. What's going on? My eyes, they're not changing. Crazy.
I mean, that's a good thing, right?
new frames. But yeah, that's good. My eyes aren't getting worse. Because I'm like, I can't paint my toenails without my glasses. But that's a problem. But I can see, so that's a blessing and a gift. Not knocking it.
I think there was something my optometrist said about your eyes reaching. I think it's after 30, your eyes settle and they stop changing as much. Maybe it's 35. I can't remember the age.
That might be right, because I remember that was so long ago, 35. When you're 70,
Wait a minute, you were 70? I thought you were like 76.
My eyes were like that. I am 76. What? My eyes were like going back. Like I went back prescriptions for a while.
Your eyes were benching buttoning.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because that's what my sisters call me, Benjamin Button. Because they're getting older and they swear I'm aging in reverse. But yeah, my eyes were. But now they've been stable for the last 5 years. I've had the same prescription, so I don't know. I'm a weird person out here in the world. I use both sides of my brain equally, so that may be the problem.
That's 2 more sides than the average clubhouse participant.
That explains my frustration then with the clubhouse conversations. I'm just like, use your brain, any part of it.
Wow, I didn't know that. So now I have a new perspective on one of our previous conversations, Dr. AG, because I remember you got pissed at me one time because I was like, oh, Dr. AG is my girl. And then you were like, I'm not your girl. And I was like, okay, this makes more sense now. I was thinking you were like 40 something. I had no idea you were in your 70s. So
I'm not really in my 70s.
Oh, okay.
I just say that because my grandmother told me that I was 50 when I was 7. So I figure, now I've got to be at least 80,
That's fair, okay. I was like, oh, now I feel bad. I was like, you're disrespecting this 70-year-old.
But don't tell anybody that I'm not 70. That's a secret. Everybody has to believe that I'm 76. Like somebody said to me once, you're too old to be acting this way. I'm like, what in the world? I feel I'm 76, but I feel like I've lived 76 years, but I'm just trapped in a younger body, You know how that is? Like, there should be a thing for that. There has to be a name for that. It's not like body dysmorphia, but maybe age dysmorphia or something.
I also think people are just growing up slower nowadays. Like, at some point, people didn't become adults until their, late 20s. And I was like, society has kind of changed expectations. People are just taking longer to become full.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about your experience?
I also will say I am kind of happy to see that parents are allowing their kids to move back home after college because I think that will help financially
a lot of the next generation, so they can take some of that burden of student loans off their debt. So like that whole notion that it's like frowned upon or you're a loser for moving back home, I'm glad that's going away. It's helping a little. That's it, Aaron. I think that's all I.
I found that was fundamentally an American thing. I mean, in a lot of European countries, people live with their parents. Like in Italy, people live with their parents until they get married. Men and women.
I know some cultures where they marry and still live with the parents for a little bit.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. Yeah, it's not uncommon in Italy to find like a 30-year-old man living with his parents. Like, yeah, yeah, I think that was like fundamentally an American thing. But I do have to say that I do look sideways at people. Like, why are you still living with your parents? Like, what the fuck? You're too old for that. But, you know.
I think if it's like, okay, you're 26, maybe I can give it about. If you're still 32 and you're still at home, all right, we gotta talk about you moving out. Like it's time. Let your parents retire.
Yeah. It used to be a joke about people living in their parents' basement, but it's not anymore. It's too true to be a joke. Times are changing.
I don't know. I think maybe it's because, well, everyone knows I'm lucky. It's actually very common for us to like move in with our parents, but I think I'm glad that's becoming a norm outside.
Dominicans never let their sons leave.
So right now, your daughters or your kids are gonna move back in, and they're gonna be there for.
I hope they come back. If they listen to their mother, they'll come back. Water.
But the reason why it became a norm is because now property is expensive.
And that's also like a shitty apartment will cost you $3,000 a month, like some basic ass.
Exactly. Back in the day, you can get a basic ass apartment for like $500.
I'll tell my daughter, you better come back home. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
There's that Dominican accent.
I think it's kind of. I mean, there are advantages and disadvantages because I think the longer it takes for people to become self-sufficient, the harder it is. You know? Like, God forbid, like their parents die young or something. Like both my parents died young. And my brother is fucked in the game because of it. But yes, I think there are pluses and minuses to it. If the parents are really strict about you're living at home and making sure that you take some responsibilities while you're doing that, then I think that makes a difference. But living at home the same way you did when you were in high school, that's not a good look. Times are hard.
Yeah, I just want my daughter to have a savings and, not just go out there, and be living check to check.
Do you think this generation is growing up slower than the previous generations?
Hell yeah.
Oh God, yes.
We were definitely faster than them.
In a whole bunch of ways, emotionally, psychologically. I've engaged with 3 generations of young people, and particularly Gen Z. It's a lot of arrested development.
What's the culprit?
Gen X parents.
Some of the parents are millennials. Some of the parents are millennials. Don't forget that.
That was nasty. Yeah, I mean the millennial, and like the later Gen Z kids, like now they're a little different, but the early Gen Z, oh my goodness, I'm like, oh Lord.
I was talking to my professor of social media, and we were talking about this new generation of kids, and she's like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. I come late on purpose to try to get them to communicate, and they're just all on their phones. And I know I'm teaching social media, but it's social. It's not just media. Why can't I get them to talk? And she's like, I also am supposed to, part of my thing is that they have to go to 4 events and write about it and post about it. And these people are saying that there's no events that they can find. Are they crazy? There's so many things going on. Like, do anything.
And I noticed just communication skills are poor.
Yeah, that's what you
Just
said.
being able to,
In-person communication.
being able to hold a conversation, it's, oh my God.
Well, as you can see here, people don't be understanding words, Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
We're not even talking the same language anymore.
And I read this article, this was like a few months back, and they were talking about how in high school, kids don't read books anymore. You know, like there used to be a time where everybody read like To Kill a Mockingbird. In the English class, that was like the reading everybody did. In some grade 9 through 11, you read To Kill a Mockingbird. And now kids are they read chapters from books, or they'll read like short stories, but it's very rare that they read a book from cover to cover. So they're not even reading. I mean, they're reading, but need to be able to do sustained reading. Wait, what?
Back then, though, all that standardized reading, Lord of the Flies and stuff.
Yeah, we read it.
We would read, but we'd have clip notes as well, the printed out ones. But yeah.
Men read the clip.
Yeah, but you also read, though.
Yeah, you couldn't read the clip notes all the time. You couldn't get away with that.
Yeah. Because not all books had clip notes.
Exactly. And also they're expensive. Find the person who has them. It was not, it's a lot harder.
Oh, you had to pay for them back then, huh?
You had to buy them. What are you talking about?
Dr. Adrian, you know, I have 2 Gen Zs, and I would say they are the total opposite. So I would say my son is more like the Gen Zs that very, you know, he can't communicate. No comment. But then you see my other Gen Z, which is my daughter, she's good. So I won't say it's a Gen Z thing. It's just depending on the Gen Z child. Like, I find that there's a lot of kids like my son, but then I find that there's kids like my daughter.
And it's definitely dependent on their age, right? And the gender does make a difference. There's a difference between the women and the men.
Yeah.
And their social dysfunction manifests in different ways. I find like with the girls, their communication skills are really good, but their level of like the boys are very, even though they express it in very muted ways, the boys are very confident, but the girls less so. In terms of like self-image, self-esteem, aspiration, that kind of thing. Like the boys, they're like, yeah, they can do anything. They just choose not to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the gender thing. I see, and I have friends that also have sons, and they have the same problem with their sons versus their daughters.
Yeah. It's a really interesting phenomenon. Really interesting.
So you just can't talk about it, so you're not in the room.
I said my son, I ain't say y'all.
So I take it that we can't, the lounge is not open enough tonight?
I guess not. The owner of the lounge left. This lounge, I don't know when it gets open, but come on, how you gonna make money?
All right, I need
Nobody. It might just be the lounge may just be a side hustle.
It's a bodega.
the bodega and they got the bootleg bottles in the back.
If it was a bodega, it would never be closed.
Wait a minute. Maya said she sold the bodega to Nonfinity.
Oh, Lord.
He's just sitting there harassing all the clientele.
The bodega gonna soon be out of business then.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, sir, I just wanted to buy a Snapple. Can you please leave?
Ain't nobody coming back.
Well, that would explain all of the tourists, I was gonna call them. You know, when I put in the chat that a bus must have broken down outside of the 420. That would explain that.
Yeah.
And look, somebody said,
just spend the shit and give me my change. Just spend it and give me my change.
somebody said when I said the bus broke down, I don't know if it was Patty, but somebody said one of those $20 buses.
Not the $20 bus.
The dollar bus.
Oh, Lord, not the super bus.
Shout out to my Jamaican.
I just say, so.
Shout out to my Jamaican tap-tap. Not the tap-tap.
Oh, I thought Brian was talking about the dollar bills.
That's what I thought we were talking about, right? The dollars.
Yeah, because you know when you talk about Jamaicans, I'm like, yeah, that's a dollar bill.
He's like, I'll take you because I'm in. Wait.
They pick you up at the mall. You go to the mall, you park your car, and you hop on. Then you can go all the way.
The mega bus, that's fancy. I'm an original Chinatown bus rider. That's the real shit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I see the video today. So a chick is like, I spent $250 and look everything I got. She got a Chanel bag. She got a Vuitton wallet. And she in Chinatown. I was like, only in New York. I was laughing. She got 2 perfumes. She said, how much was all this? She was like, $210. All this.
I saw a thing on Instagram, and it was about Donald Trump's birthday parade, and the thing said, when you order your birthday parade on Temu and don't pay the tariffs, and they showed like the people, like they showed all the empty seats, and the people like marching out of step. And I was like, this shit is funny as fuck. They say when you order your birthday on Temu and don't pay the tariff.
Child, that's nasty. Y'all better stop playing with it.
That was hilarious.
Who's playing with that boy?
And he looked so bored. And Marco Rubio was trying not to yawn. It was terrible.
Sounds like the Pope's funeral.
Nothing on the Pope. Nothing on Pope Francis.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know nothing you saying about Pope Francis. Absolutely not.
Nothing on the Pope, shorty.
he made it like a business.
And nothing on the Black Pope. Nothing on Black Pope Leo either.
He hard-headed, doctor.
So just change the subject.
Oof.
So let me tell you this quick story. When y'all were talking about like the Jamaicans and the $20 buses, I had when I was staying with my friends in Brooklyn, they had some relatives to come up from South Carolina, and so they lived in like Crown Heights, and their relatives were driving like a black Lincoln something, like it looked like a black car. And they were talking about how everybody was so nice to them because they kept waving at them. But these people thought that this was one of those They were like, people say in New York that people are rude, but they just so nice. I'm laughing. We were like, why are they waving at you? So then we were like, let's help you unpack your stuff. So when we went out to the car and saw the car, we busted out laughing.
How many kids?
Wait. We just gonna fly past that?
Yeah, talk about it.
Nobody's gonna say nothing. What the hell?
It was
No. Go back to the car accident.
Back up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when I got hit by the taxi.
What happened? Give me the details. What happened?
I don't really remember it. I just remember like running into the street and and then my aunt was like, "Oh shit, you fucking hit my face, motherfucker." I was like, "But I'm okay. I'm not hurt."
Okay, so that's called a concussion. That's a concussion if you don't remember.
And I had to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital, and but I was like, I was fine. We didn't sue or anything, but we should have sued. I'm like, why didn't y'all sue? I could have had so much money. I missed out on like 3 lawsuits in my life where I could have been sick for life,
Did your parents are conservative?
Yeah, my mom was like, well, she's not hurt.
Yeah, that's how
It's okay.
be the same way.
Yeah.
What happened? Your head got hit or your body got hit?
I think I literally like ran into the cab. Like the cab didn't hit me, like I hit the cab. Because I wasn't paying attention. I was so excited. I was like 7.
There's a lot of water.
Yeah.
A little kid.
Yeah, But they should have sued the taxi service. I don't know. They should have sued the yellow cab. We could have got a lot of money from the city. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, especially back then.
Yeah. In the 70s, for sure.
There was no Uber.
Yeah, my parents, they weren't worried about suing on my behalf.
It was scary back then. I don't know why. I think it was just the unknown. It was scary.
My grandmother sued everybody. My grandmother, she was suing everybody. When my cousin got hit by a car because she crossed in the middle of the street and from between 2 cars, she got hit by a car. My grandmother sued. I'm like, but she crossed, like that's jaywalking. Like she was like, my grandmother was like, I don't care. She got hit. She's pedestrian.
Yeah, she let pedestrians out of it right away.
So she got money. My parents were not doing that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the artichoke fields, looking at the artichoke fields, the other fields. It does look like
Wait a
there's a
minute.
little bit.
So let me get this straight. So you're on weed and mushrooms, and now you're in the artichoke fields.
I'm not in there per se at the moment, but that does sound really nice to just crawl up inside there.
Oh. Yeah.
Continue smoking.
Okay.
There's a lot of artichokes in people's yards here, like as decorative big plants.
Really?
They're beautiful. It's a really beautiful plant. People haven't seen it.
And they don't eat them?
They probably do.
Oh, okay.
But right now, they're growing up. They're super tall, and they're pretty.
And artichokes are like a weird thing, right? Because there's so much of them, but there's only a small portion of it that you can actually eat.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you steam them, then you eat.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, that part, the tough part on the outside, you can't eat that part. There's only the little stem. Like when you pull out the tough part, that little piece at the bottom, you can eat that and the heart. That other part that has the little pricklies on it, you can't eat that.
The first person who ate an artichoke was starving.
Well, that's incorrect. They're clearly not in California.
It was all. I just had some artichokes last night. That's what we said as we were eating it.
That's just rude.
Yeah,
Gotta learn how to make artichokes. Did you put garlic cloves in them when you steamed them?
No, I got it at a restaurant. It was delicious, but it's just a lot of work.
Yeah, you gotta steam them. You gotta
Yeah, it's a lot of work for
like stuffed mushrooms, just,
not a lot of food.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Artichokes are good.
It's really fucking good.
But I like all foods. Like, I don't know of a food, besides durian. I do not like durian.
I haven't
But
tried it.
other than
Can you describe
Oh
it?
my God. durian, oh my God, it smells like vomit. It's like a Chinese fruit. And it's called the king fruit. And it kind of looks like a jackfruit, but it's not. But how jackfruit, durian is a little rougher, like the skin's a little rougher, and when you cut it open, it stinks. It smells horrible.
It is delicious, though.
Oh, really?
It smells like vomit.
It came from an alien planet. Like, even
It is disgusting.
An alien.
It is. And I ate it, like, I ate ice cream. I ate, like, the durian ice cream one time, and I was like, even the ice cream is nasty. It's the nasty.
No, it tastes so I want to hear how you think it tastes, doctor, but for me it tastes like a tropical, like, fruit snack. It
tastes like a rotten tropical fruit.
Yeah.
It's nasty. I don't like it.
People
I don't like durian.
People describe the smells being like rotting flesh.
It is.
When you're in Southeast Asia, like there's signs of everywhere in hotels that say bring durian into the hotel.
In Melissa's,
It's like smoking in your hotel room, but worse.
In Melissa's, they have
You go into the grocery stores where they've cut it open. I'm like, oh my God, like, what is that horrid smell? It's so nasty.
It's so delicious.
But
It's like an influencer on YouTube that he swears by it. It's supposed to be healthy or something. But
they say it's super healthy, and it's full of like proteins and antioxidants. Like, it's really supposedly good for you. But I don't care.
You're describing the taste of papaya.
Bad though.
I'm gonna take it.
Right?
Yeah, so papaya does have a little bit of a rancid smell, but yeah, but I can eat a papaya if it's like already seeded and cut, I can eat it. But if it's not, I can't prepare it like myself.
I used to love papaya, but now if I smell it or taste it, I like.
Yeah, you can't. I can't.
You drop that into a blender. I mean, you can make it manageable if you drop it into a blender. We have a chef.
Yeah, and I can eat it like on a fruit thing, but it has to be prepared. I can't encounter it like freshly cut and seasoned. I can't.
What about
But all other foods, other than onions and bananas, to which I'm allergic, I eat all foods.
Oh, that's a shame. Onions are pivotal.
Yeah, but I have shallots.
I was gonna say you can't have shallots.
Yeah, I can have shallots. I can have
So
shallots
there's
and
this
garlic.
Brazilian food where it's basically almost hatched egg, and you eat it, you slurp it down, and you crunch on the bones. How does that sound for you, doctor?
What is it?
It's a Brazilian food. It's a Brazilian delicacy where it's basically like a half-hatched egg, like a chicken egg, and like you eat the embryo and you crunch on the bones as well. You slurp it down.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, when I was in China, I ate pigeon. I didn't know that it was a pigeon at the time, but after I had eaten the entire thing down to the bone, I was like, oh my God, this is so delicious. What is it?
Yeah.
And they described it, and I was like, a pigeon. Oh my God. But so I probably could eat it. I probably wouldn't mind.
But if you can eat that, you can eat chitlins. If you eat that, you can eat
Absolutely not.
like pig feet and all that hog maw, all that stuff your grandma cook on Sundays or something. I mean, I'm from the country, I don't know. You eat hog maw and all that stuff. Some people don't because they call it poor man's food and all of that. So a lot of people don't eat it.
Yeah, but I'm not eating chitlins, so no ma'am.
If they're clean, good, you won't give one try.
I saw my great grandmother prepare that. First of all, it's like durian. It stinks up the whole house.
It does, but you can.
Oh my God! And then you have to soak it in all. Like my grandmother would like wash it, soak it in that vinegar water to clean it. Oh, I can't. I'm gonna add chitlins to the list.
You just hold your nose. It'll be all right. On Sundays, I don't know, my grandmother would make those for people and stuff, when I was a kid. But as an adult, I don't buy those or what have you, but my folks will make them or whatever. You didn't turn away food in no black household and say, I ain't eat that. You'll get punched to the top of your dang on head. That's just what it was. You didn't turn away food from a black table. But chitlins, well, I mean, I don't know. You may be lucky. Your grandmother wouldn't probably. I mean, maybe that made you in.
But my grandmother, she never made that like for food. For a regular meal. But she would cook it like for her
people,
nieces and nephews. Yeah, when they would come from off, like when they would come.
Yeah, this was on Sundays for us.
Like for them.
She would make it on Sundays for us, and pickled pig feet. Some people don't like them because.
When I was a kid, I loved that pickled pig feet. You go to the store and get it out that pink juice. Pink juices. I don't know what that pink juice was, but pickled pig feet was delicious.
It's color. I think it's just colored when they would add vinegar, but they would color it or whatever to make the
red dye, number 65 or whatever.
Yeah, and it make it color. But yeah, a lot of folks don't like eating that stuff either because, again, they call it the poor man's food. But let me tell you, it ain't nothing wrong with moving on up and having steak and black Angus steak and beef, good quality meat that's tender, falls off the bone.
I never liked steak. When I was growing up, when I was a kid, my dad, every Friday we would have steak and mashed potatoes. And I never liked it. And it was always like the whole thing. Because my daddy was like, you know how hard I worked to make this? I was like, and I don't eat it. I don't eat steak to this day. There's something about the texture of it.
What part is it the black Angus steak? Is it tender? I mean, because it depends on how it's cooked. If you're, getting real.
I don't care.
You don't eat it at all?
I don't like beef. I had filet mignon. I had Wagyu, whatever. I don't like none of that. Absolutely not.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
I'll eat it. Like if I go somewhere and, there's like an occasion where I have to eat it, I'll eat it. But I don't, it's not my fave. It's not my.
Wow. No, I mean, for me, I tell you, I really ain't picky when it comes to, food or whatever. Like I told somebody, I'll buy it, but I'm so like, I ain't gonna cook no chitlins. I'm not gonna do that.
Now you know it. Excuse me. Hold on. Oh, this motherfucker.
Road rage. They're driving. Okay, I was like, did I say something? Some of these people make you want to curse them out. A guy calls a huge wreck on.
I'm back.
You're driving. Look, you're lucky to be moving. Yesterday, a guy caused a wreck on the highway. I guess talking on a cell phone and rolled his truck on the highway. Had traffic stand still for over 3 hours out there. So be careful driving. Y'all be careful. He was talking on a cell phone.
Them cell phones get on my nerve when people driving. I can't about it.
Man, put it up on something where it's not in your hand or whatever, but it's like the thing falls out your hand, you go to reach for the dang on phone, and you swerve into another lane or something. It's just let the phone fall and go to an exit and get your phone. But no, what they do, try to reach down, and they ended up running into the the whole concrete wall and stuff messed up their truck and everything. It was an engine part all over the highway, so people need to be careful talking on these cell phones. He was lucky, he was in a critical condition, is what they said on the news as well. So I just tell people, please be careful so you don't get care flighted up out of here. It's not a good deal to be on a care flight somewhere.
But I mean, that's just not a good look. Like, oh my God, I'm in critical condition. What happened? I was on my cell phone.
On a phone, and you down in the helicopter.
That's like a recipe for loserdom. Like, come on. If you're gonna go out better than that. I don't know. That's just me.
I'm not driving across the dang old bridge. I said the only thing that saved him from going over was the concrete wall. If he didn't have that wall there, he'd be going over into the, who knows, So yeah, just be careful with people doing all. They're alive. They made it. I mean, their pickup, the kind of vehicle, high profile, I think is what saved them. If they had a lower profile vehicle, I don't think they'd be here hit the concrete wall like that. But they're in critical condition. Somebody said in the chat, are they up?
So I guess we're not gonna talk about nothing tonight. I mean, I'm just trying to understand the itinerary.
Is Donald Trump talking about going to war or putting us in a war? I thought I heard something about that possibly. I don't want to be tied up in a war, y'all. I don't. I just want peace, man. This is crazy. You need to stay out of this situation over there.
First lady?
Yes.
I'm here. I guess it's how we're going to spend our Juneteenth because nobody opened up a room. So.
Was there any more reporting from the Diddy trial today?
No, they shut down.
What? They was preparing for the June 19th.
No, so they're not going to go tomorrow because of Juneteenth, but today one of the jurors had.
The juror was sick?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were sick because they didn't want to come in the day before Juneteenth so they could have a good lunch.
I don't know, I think Diddy poisoned them, but I don't know about that. But, they coming back Friday.
They should have worked today and got sick on Friday.
Exactly, but see, they didn't want to do that because they made it seem like it was fake. So they had to at least get the Wednesday,
Yes.
1,000% sure.
1,000% sure.
And I'm not.
No, you're not. Yeah, so they're coming back Friday, and the drug mule is gonna go on the stand to talk. Yeah.
The drug mule?
Yeah, the white boy that you remember, I don't know if you remember the day. So the day they ran up in his crib in Miami, they found him by the Miami airport with his private jet. And they ended up taking the white boy, and the white boy had a lot of drugs inside of a Louis Vuitton bag. So he was only 25. So when I seen that he came out the next day, I don't know if it was the next day or a few hours later.
Who are you talking about now?
Diddy's drug mule.
Oh, okay.
So when he came out, I think it was a few hours later he came out, or the next day, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be talking.
Okay, then I have a question. Are you surprised how many white people or white-ish people are implicated in this whole?
No, that's where the cocaine comes from.
But even like the stripper guy, I forget his name. But the stripper guy who testified, so that
means he likes to see white men and black men fuck his women. Yeah. That's what he likes. He likes pink meat and
all of the that was, I'm like, oh, he got like some real, let me go.
I'm telling you.
They said Tyler Perry like white meat too. Down to the pink meat.
No. He likes that bubble gum.
Hubba hubba.
Okay. Who's in here?
Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
It's Hubba Bubba.
Hubba bubba. Hubba hubba. You say Womack today? I ain't say no.
No.
You're just a love.
And then they put that together. It was Hubba Bubba.
Bubblicious.
You know the one that they used to squeeze in?
I know.
What about the one you used to squeeze and stuff used to come out of it?
Oh,
Yes. It's so disgusting.
That was pink, and then it was red that comes out of it. Yeah.
I ain't like that. That gushy stuff.
I don't like that. Oh.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of that. That was nasty. I didn't like that pink tape either. It was too soft. You could never get it to
Oh, the one, the bubble tape or whatever.
Yeah, that's too soft. I don't like it.
All of those were like chewing rubber if you drank something and then kept chewing it. Like, we should all have like jaws of like steel. Continuing to drink it chew it once the sugar was out. You know, we just kept on chewing it like it's the same.
I liked Bazooka Joe though.
Yeah, Bazooka was good. You like the black one or the cylinder one?
Say it again.
Remember they had like the little square rectangle one, the flat, and then they had one that was kind of like a circle-ish kind of. Remember?
No, I like the square one.
Which one was the one with the cartoon?
Yeah, the Bazooka
Joe.
square.
Yeah, I like that.
What did you guys think about R. Kelly overdosing?
Oh no, I didn't know that he did.
Yeah.
Those days.
Oh,
They said he overdosed and they rushed him to the hospital.
Okay, what did he
What on
overdose
what?
on? Piss?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Who overdosed?
First lady. I just want to
Maya said it sounded fake.
Yeah, like
First lady. I just want to say your comment is highly inappropriate.
That's alright. You can't overdose on piss?
I was thinking that he was just doing that because he's trying to get a partner.
One of the most popular theories is that it was staged because he's been trying to either get home confinement or move to a different facility, and this was a way to do that he's not safe there, so that he can be moved.
Yeah, he's trying to get Trump to pardon him. That's why.
But how is it overdose? How is a self-inflicted overdose?
It wasn't self-inflicted. Like the people that administer the drugs at his facility, like they're supposedly who did it. Like that's what he's alleging.
That's sick.
That's insane. Ain't nobody believing that.
Exactly.
Stay in jail.
Nice try, Robert, but no.
Nice try.
You sound like that woman who was in the movie about R. Kelly where she was his teacher and she said, Robert, what are you doing around here? Around McDonald's? Right? It's like, Robert, what were you I told Robert, get away from around here. I was like, Lord, the teacher say, she called him by his whole name.
Dr. What?
They're road racing.
So this is what happened. My figure skating club had a clinic, right? And so usually for the figure skating club clinics, what happens is the teachers like go on the ice and the kids or the people are out there for public skating. And you go out there and you talk to them, like to teach them a few skills or whatever, because you're just trying to get them to enroll and learn to skate. So I go over there for the clinic, and when I get in there, Susie,
is telling me that I have to pay for the public skating. I'm like, excuse me? I was like, no, I don't want to skate. I'm only here for the clinic. And she's like, oh, but the clinic, it's happening on public ice. I said, oh, no, man. I'm not going to pay money to do a free clinic. Are you insane? So I'm on my way back now from the clinic that I didn't do, which I'm really irritated about because it takes a little less than a quarter tank of gas for me to go to and from the rink. And that's a quarter tank of gas that I didn't need to use, with this war in Iran.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm like 10 minutes from my house now.
That blinker been on for a minute though.
That's because I'm constantly changing lanes. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're a constant lane changer? Oh my God.
Gotta get where she's gotta go. She's not care about these important things. She's not going on. I like Dr. Angie.
But you know that seniors in their 70s drive with the blinker light on for like 2 miles. You know.
Oh no.
Oh, she's in her 70s. You know they keep that blinker on.
No, she's in her 80s with me. Well, I'm 87.
I'm gonna be 80 soon.
So that means y'all need drivers. Y'all shouldn't be outside.
I needed a driver when I was 35. What's the Why you don't hold me? I needed a driver. When I had to go to that rink, when I was going to that rink 3 days a week, I needed a driver. Like, what is going on? I needed somebody to drive me. I got in a carpool.
Naya said you drive like a granny with the blinkers on a mile away.
I put on my blinker a sufficient 300 to 250 yards away, feet away from where I'm turning.
Quick question: have any of you used?
Even where I live, brake light means turn.
Oh God, that's horrible.
You don't know they're turning until they press on their brake and then they start turning.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if y'all haven't heard it, says Trump reviewed Iran attack plans, but is holding off to see if Tehran steps back from nuclear program. Go ahead. Say what y'all saying.
Thank you. I was asking, does any of your insurance, because you know that.
Why is it a scam?
It doesn't beep or tell you that you're driving too fast and you're going around the corner too fast.
No, but I save a lot of money, and that is a lot of my road rage when I have to like slam on my brake because I be telling the people, I'm like, you're fucking up my road. Look at this poor thing. I snap.
No, Johnny's, I'm perfect.
Well, all I know is that for the majority of the people, I would say it's a way for these insurance companies to justify increasing your insurance when it's time to renew. Whether you had an accident or not. Yeah, that's how they increase it. They tell you that it's to see if you're safe, but basically it's another way of the time of day you drive.
That time thing is crazy, but it has made me more conscientious because I'm like, and I be cursing at people. I'm like, why are you making me like you gonna mess up my snap projections for this month?
But you don't drive well. That's all.
Take it out. I reduced my car. Yeah, I'm not worried about it because you're not gonna keep beeping and telling me that I need to go down to like 5 miles to turn.
Mine doesn't do that.
Are you with
I don't do that.
No, I was with Progressive. This was years ago when I was with Progressive. When it wasn't on the app, it was actually a thing you put in your car, and it would like keep beeping and telling me like I was like going too fast around the curve. Insurance went up, and I was like, oh
the car. But like if you're riding in an Uber, you don't want it clocking the Uber, so you can go in. Yeah.
On a family member's phone because they drive.
Like a senior. That's a good one.
He's been driving this Toyota Tercel for 200,000 miles, and he just changed his brakes. He just changed his brakes for the first time.
What?
200,000 miles.
Crazy.
You know how hard it is to not have to change your brakes for 200,000 miles?
Do you know they stopped making the Tercel in the 90s?
I believe it. It looks like it's. Are you sure? I feel like it's early aughts. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Okay, it's early 2001. Maybe 2001. Very, very early aughts. Yeah, because they had Toyota Tercel when I was graduating college, undergrad. They ain't making a Tercel past 2001.
Yeah, you're right. It's 1999. That's it.
My God, he can get antique tires. He can get antique tires now. Is it a manual?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Tercel was a manual back then. Oh, really? They didn't have automatic Tercels? My first two cars were manual. Yeah, when you got an automatic, you had to pay more. Because when I got my Corolla, I got a manual for that reason. Because automatics, you had to pay more money. They were more expensive.
Manuals so much.
Yeah, I love manuals.
Yeah, you save gas.
I sometimes drive my car that I have now. I sometimes. Yeah, you know, like, don't most cars you drive right? Yeah, I sometimes. I got an EV. I want to have an EV, but the only reason I didn't get an EV is because I road drive with my car. And mine's a hybrid. I have to have the infrastructure for that. Oh, okay. That's a hybrid. But my EV.
All sport.
Yes, now I'm in the left turn lane. I use my blinker. I'm going to make my left turn onto the street. I'm concerned about this blinker. But I use my turn indicator. So do I. With the car, an indicator. See, now I'm shifting. It's just a habit. How they in the White House with essential hoodies on. What is happening? What happened? Office. And behind him, I don't know who that was, but they had an essential hoodie on. The White House is ghetto. This whole thing is ghetto. What is that? I'm sorry. It wasn't. Absolutely. It'll creep in when I'm talking. Yes, that's exactly what has happened. I can't. Yeah.